Hey, Astrobaddies and daddies, this is Astrology, the podcast for the witchy and the bitchy. Hello, Astrobaddies and daddies. Welcome to Astrology, the podcast for the witchy and the bitchy. I'm your host, Nicole.
And I'm Luini.
And we have a guest on the show today.
Yay!
Hi, Jada, aka Jade Queen. Thank you for coming on our show. Not only is she an Astrobaddie, but she's also a tarot reader. And
Yes.
she's a Leo sun sign.
Yes. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm just excited to be here, honestly. I'm like, this is my first one, my first podcast. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, that is
Yes.
exciting. I'm
Yes.
surprised you haven't been on a podcast before. Your stuff is so informative.
Thank you. No, I don't know. You know what it is? I think people just are realizing that I'm putting myself out there more. Like, I just started posting myself on my page, like, last month, and I've been having my business page for like 6 years. So people did not know what I look like. They were probably like, she's probably a bot. Like, she's probably not even a real person. So they were like, but I think now people are probably like, oh, okay, like, she's a real person. Like, let me actually like do like a FaceTime reading and all these other things. So I'm just grateful that I'm here, and thank y'all for reaching out and, giving me this opportunity for sure.
We love meeting so many people in this community. Like every week I get to meet somebody like new and awesome and cool. So again, like I'm just so happy that you're here. So thank you so much. Can you tell us your big three, please?
Yes. So I'm a Leo sun, Aries moon, and a Libra rising.
Ooh.
You got the moon opposite the rising, girl.
Yes. And that can be very, very conflicting at times. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, like I want to be bold and put myself out there. And other times I'm like, no, actually, no, I don't. Actually, I want to sit down and go be in a corner somewhere and go read a book or something. I don't know. Some days I just can't handle it sometimes. And sometimes I bring harmony into people's lives, and sometimes I shake shit up. So it can be very, very disturbing.
We
For some
love a
people.
multifaceted queen.
Yeah, it's balance. That's what it is. It's
Thank
chaos
you.
one day, peace the other. So
Yes. Literally.
I think I've said on an episode before that if I wasn't my moon sign, I would be an Aries moon, just because like I feel like they just have the audacity that I lack.
Wait, what's your moon sign?
I'm an Aquarius moon.
Okay. And what about you, Nicole?
Oh, I'm a Capricorn moon.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Very practical with your emotions, Nicole.
Yes,
Very, very
absolutely.
practical. It's like, in both of y'all, it's like very like factual. Everything has to be facts, basically.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
this is how I feel facts.
I wish I could tap more into the emotional side. I'm a Pisces rising, so I do have a lot of emotions and stuff, but I feel like my Aquarius moon always wants to hold back. Like, girl, rein it in. Calm down. Don't react. And I'm like, but sometimes I just want to go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm an Aries sun, so I'm just very irritable. But then I have a Cap rising too as well. So sometimes it's like I'm fuming under the surface, like I'm losing my shit. But like you can't tell because my face is so straight. And I mean, like I have days where I do give off that resting bitch face. So there's just, at least that kind of keeps people at bay where they're like, okay, don't fuck with Nicole today.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think a lot of people, I would say like a lot of Capricorns, at least from what I know, are always kind of going through it. Not in a way where they're like, I'm sorry. But no, it's just like, I'm not using violence. I'm just saying,
You're not wrong.
I'm just saying, like, y'all are always going through something, and it's not necessarily like y'all are being dramatic about it. Y'all are not being dramatic. It's just like shit is happening. Shit is hitting the fan, but you're trying to keep calm, and you might have to cry about it in private, very much so in private behind closed doors. Nobody but your closest people will know, But, I understand Capricorns. I really do. I really, really do.
That makes me
I
feel better. That makes me feel
yeah.
better.
I mean, yeah. And then Piscean rising. Okay, so I know my best friend. She's a Taurus sun, Capricorn moon, Piscean rising.
She's super close to me. I'm a
Right, and
Taurus
that's
sun too, Pisces
oh my
rising,
gosh.
but moon in Aquarius.
Yes. So whenever you said that, I was like, oh my gosh. I wonder how similar y'all's personalities are. But
We're gonna find out in this episode, girl. You tell me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome though. That's my best friend. She's so cool. She's so cool. Yeah, she's very intuitive. Super super intuitive. Super super intuitive. So I'm sure you have some type of intuitive gifts that you probably
Oh yeah, I tell Nicole a lot. I'm just like, okay, if I have a really deep-seated question or something I really need to know, I just wait it out. Eventually the truth will come to me in a dream. Like I'll dream about it without
mm,
fail. And then a couple weeks later, the thing that I saw in my dream or felt in my dream will happen, and I was like, I knew it.
Yeah, the
I'm
truth
learning
comes.
slowly in life that my intuition is my greatest gift and that I could never doubt it again.
yeah.
Because anytime I do, I fuck myself.
I get that. I get that. Yeah. Yeah. And you can doubt yourself, especially as an Aquarius moon at times. Like y'all are very sure of yourselves, but the shadow aspect is like very much so like, what is life? What am I doing? Where am I going?
Oh my god,
Is
I have that sort of like a crash out almost every week. Well, I'll be in the middle of doing something. Like I'll be in the middle of cleaning, and then all of a sudden I'll stop and I'll be like, why am I here? Why was I put on this earth?
Yeah.
What is the meaning of life? Like, what are we all doing here? How did I come to be my parents' child? Like, I'll start questioning everything. Like, literally mid like scrubbing the toilet bowl, like, why am I here?
That is
Why am I
hilarious.
doing this? It happens more often than you would think.
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I would just say like write down what you feel like your purpose is, and whenever you have those moments, just go back to that and be like, okay, these are the answers. These are
Oh,
the answers.
that's such good
Mhm.
advice. I actually
Yes.
really like
I'll write
that.
it in my little Taurus notebook that my friend Cindy gave me.
Oh,
That's
so
cute.
cute.
Oh, that's
Love
sweet.
that.
That's super sweet. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
an
It'll get.
Aquarius.
Oh,
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she probably thought
Mm.
it would come in handy.
She knew.
She's sweet. That is a great gesture. I love when friends give thoughtful gifts, and Aquarians do. They give the most thoughtful gifts. They
They
really
do.
do.
They really
Mm-hmm.
think it out.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I bought you this because I know you were tired and I know you needed a new pillow, so I bought it, and it supports your neck. I'm like, okay, girl. I told you I had a crick in my neck like weeks
the
ago.
neck support.
Right? You're so sweet though. I love it. I love
They
it. I love it.
are. Aw.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the Aquarians. We don't think
Definitely.
you guys are weird. I mean, you are, but we like that about you. We're not judging.
Yeah, we appreciate
No.
you guys.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely so.
So, today,
Yes, I think you're very excited for this episode. She
I
really is.
am
This episode
because
topic.
I learned so much about this just a few months ago. I had
Mm-hmm.
a call with my astrologer and she kind of went through my chart and she like dropped a bomb on me because I was like, okay, like what's my love life looking like for the rest of the year? Like what's tea? Am I gonna meet somebody, etc., etc.? Like my Venus is doing this, this, and that. And she's like, girl, don't worry about what your Venus is doing. You have Virgo on the Descendant. You need to be worried about what Mercury's doing in your chart in
Mm-hmm.
terms of your love life. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Never knew that. So, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about the Descendant this week
Mm-hmm.
and how it does relate to your love life. But we wanted to make the episode kind of like flirty and fun and cute. So, the Descendant and the seventh house have a lot of different themes, mainly surrounding relationships in general. But for the purposes of this episode, we kind of wanted to brighten the mood and we're going to do what we do best, Nicole and I, which is like roast people with regards to what happens in their love lives, and we're gonna use the Descendant to do it. So
Yes, absolutely. And then just a little friendly reminder to our listeners, if this term sounds familiar or not, just a reminder that when you're looking at your birth chart, you have your ascendant, which is your rising sign, and that represents you. And now right across the street, opposite of your birth chart, is going to be the descendant. Okay, so that represents the opposite of you. And like Winnie said, doing some research and reading like my books and my articles about the Descendant, like there's so many different interpretations of this house, because a lot of people are like, it represents what you look for in a partner, and a lot of people are like, no, actually it represents qualities that you lack, because the seventh house also represents the opposite of you and is also known as your shadow self. So there is a lot of interpretations and different approaches to seventh house. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun episode.
yes, Jada, I cannot wait to hear what you have to
Yeah,
say
I want to
about
hear
all of
your
this.
insight. I can't wait.
Yes.
So obviously we're gonna get into our wine, but Jada, do you want to tell us a little bit what you're drinking today? I know you're doing something different. I mean, it's in a wine glass, which counts.
Yes, I have my Vodka Mule cut water. It's definitely different. Okay, I got it for pre-game purposes before the Chris Brown concert, and it was supposed to be the margarita one, but I got this one instead. I had it delivered. It's like a ginger beer with vodka
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and lime. It's definitely an acquired taste. It's definitely more ginger than anything. So when you taste it, it's like, okay, it's a little kick to it.
Tastes
Um,
healthy.
but okay, very, very different. But it tastes okay. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I can't even taste the beer. Honestly, I really can't. It's just very
Okay.
sparkly. Hmm.
Well, ginger beer is quite an acquired taste. There's a lot of people that don't like it. I'm one of those people that do. So anything Moscow Mule, like I was like, ooh, and then you're like, it tastes different, and I'm like, okay, so it's. I don't, but yeah, I love the taste of the ginger beer. But yeah, you're right. It
Yeah,
has like a strong ginger kick.
yeah.
So sometimes it can like turn people off for
I
sure.
like that. Honestly, I like spicy things. Anything that gives my throat a bit of a tingle, I'm here for.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I like
absolutely.
spicy margs. Spicy margs are everything.
Same.
Yes.
I had
Oh.
What?
two last
Oh,
night.
really?
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god.
With a
Yes.
spicy rim, you make me want a spicy margarita so bad right
Mm.
now
The
because it
tahine
hits.
rim.
I
Yes,
was
Yes,
just
girl.
thinking that. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I
That's a
have to have
destiny.
spicy margaritas this weekend then.
Yes.
Period. You have to. I mean, I feel like a margarita just gets you where you need to be.
Yes, it gets the
Whether you
job
want
done.
to just coast or you trying to go to a different level, it'll take you where you need to be. Just
Yeah.
How did that
drink
song go?
responsibly.
Oh yeah, this song I was thinking
The
on in my head
margarita
too.
song. The margarita song is a perfect example of what your journey on margaritas will be like.
Do you know the margarita song, Jada? You know?
No, wait. I'm like,
Oh,
How does it
it's
go
like
again?
one margarita and
I
oh
get
yes,
one
yes, yes.
margarita, I'ma spread my legs.
Two margaritas. I was like, oh my. Okay. I mean,
yes. You're
certain.
not
I was like,
lying.
wait, that's kind of fast. One margarita is all it took for the
Yeah.
legs to spread.
Right?
That's
I was
crazy.
like, oh,
I was like,
okay.
what could possibly come after this?
Is it like
By the second.
straight tequila? Like straight tequila at this point? Like, what is happening? Hmm. So, what are
Okay,
y'all drinking?
we are drinking a red wine. Here, I'm
Ooh,
going to show you the bottle. This is very fitting for the episode. Look, it has. Can you see the
okay.
lips on there?
That is cute. Wait, bring it a little bit closer. Yes. Oh, that is very cute.
Yes,
Oh, I
it's
love the
very
artwork.
cute. So we're going to be
Yes.
drinking a nice red wine today. This one is called Salvagia by Molino. It's a
Hmm.
2024 wine. And this one was handpicked for us by Deanna from Loopline Wine Bar.
Mhm.
So just a quick rundown. Loopline Wine Bar is located in Toronto on DuPont. And me and Winnie personally have visited this little shop by ourselves, and we actually loved it because the vibes were just very cozy and chill and warm. And they also have such a great wine selection. Like when we were looking at the shelf, I was very happily overwhelmed. Like I want to go home with every bottle.
The
And
curation is great.
yeah, like the selection is really awesome, guys. Please go check it out. And the cool thing about it is that it's a wine store by day, but it's also a wine bar by night. And they also have a snack menu too as well. So Deanna, thank you so much. And to Loopline Wine Bar as well for this recommendation. We really appreciate it. And okay, so this is an Italian wine that she gave us. Okay, it comes from the region Piemonte. So it's an Italian wine, like I said, and it's made with a blend of Nebbiolo and Barbera grapes. And again, the red lips, I think it's perfect for the seventh house. I think it's fun. I think it's sensual. Seventh house vibes.
We told her, like, she was asking us what our topic was going to be. And in order for us to give her an idea of what we were talking about, I was just like, okay, very quickly, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about romance, anything that you have that you think would be sensual and flirty and fun. And she's like, okay, on it. And she came back with this bottle, and I think it was an amazing choice on her end. She did great.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I felt like she tuned in with that too. So this wine's supposed to be fresh. It's supposed to be have floral aromas on the nose with soft tannins. It's supposed to be vibrant, and it's a very easy drink that goes well with cheeses. So let's get started.
Ooh, I'm so interested to hear how it tastes. Are y'all do y'all like more of a dry wine, or do you like more sweet?
I don't mind dry as long as it's not super tannic. We talked about it in our last episode. We did a wine tasting. It was a lot of fun. We did a wine tasting at Downtown Winery, and we talked about how I'm not a super fan of reds, mostly because of the tannins. And Amy, who was doing the tasting, was just like, girl, a good tannic red just needs a good dish to back it up. So something with high fat, like meat, a good steak will cut those tannins and really help you enjoy the flavor of the wine. So just like, you just got to do more wine and food in order to appreciate red wine more. Whereas like rosés and white wines are more palatable outside of food, which is probably the issue that I've been having, because we're just like getting smashed on this show.
I know. Yeah, sometimes we're like, oh yeah, we're actually drinking this on an empty stomach. Fucking once again, like. Yes.
Cheers.
So cheers.
Cheers, you guys. Cheers.
Yes.
Delicious.
Deanna, thank you. Yes, I love this wine. Oh my God.
Shout out to her. Yeah.
It's so hard to explain, but vibrant, I think, is a good term. Like it's, I don't know, it's just like bright. It like bursts in your mouth a little bit.
It does. And it's a little bit different for red because instead of being high tannins, which give you like that puckering feeling in your mouth, it's high acidity. So it's making the palate super juicy.
Yes, thank you. I was about to say, it's
I'm
very
salivating.
Juicy. Like I feel like I'm getting strawberry and watermelon a little bit. Like, I don't know, maybe because like I'm feeling that juiciness from it. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Like definitely feels like biting into a strawberry or like a really ripe raspberry.
It smells so good.
And a very nice, lightly floral, but very fruity aroma. I love it.
Yes. I love this. And I hope you're enjoying your cut water too.
I am. I really am. I was like, let me slow down.
Yeah.
I was like I was stepping away. And I realized y'all weren't even drinking yet. I was like, oh my God.
Sorry, girl.
No, it's okay.
We'll catch up.
Yes. No.
Deanna, you did that.
Yes, girl. You did that. Cheers to you.
And obviously, since we know your Instagram, we're going to tag you. But because you suggested this bottle, it's Bordeaux, certified.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, girl, great job. Amazing pick. Everybody, we're going to tag this in our show notes. And we're going to tag Loopline as well. Please pay them a visit on DuPont. I feel like DuPont's one of those streets in Toronto that doesn't get a lot of love. But great restaurants and little shops like this on DuPont in the West End. Check them out. I'm going to link the wine. You guys need to try this bottle. I know we say that every time. We're not lying, but if you're ever going to listen to us, I'm telling you, you need this bottle.
Yeah, no, this bottle is great. And honestly, again, just check out Loop Line in general, because when me and Winnie went, again, we love the vibes. It was super cute and cozy. And like I said, it's a wine bar at night. Like if you're looking for a date night idea, oh my God,
That is
go to Loop
cute.
Line. Like how cute is that?
And
Like
get this sexy bottle on your table.
yes, actually.
For the vibes.
Yes.
Yes. That is everything. I think that is such a romantic date, just getting some wine, very, the lighting is very dim. It's,
Yes.
great natural lighting at the same time. It just, I don't know, the vibes are just there. I went and did like a little bit of like a wine tasting for my birthday. I just turned 30 last month.
Oh my God, happy
Congrats.
dirty 30.
Oh my God,
Thank
happy
you.
end of your Saturn return, girl.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
You're a big
I was
girl
like,
now.
I was counting down the days. I was like, how much more? How much more am I gonna have to go through? But no, it was awesome because there was different cheese that we tried, and it was just everything. It was just everything. I was like, this is so cute. I think more people should do this. It's relaxing. You get to broaden your palate a little bit more. You get to meet new people. It's cool. It's a very
I
sensual type of
love
vibe.
how you immediately mentioned envision. First of all, very romantic of you to envision the wine bar with the dim lighting and everything else. I was like, oh girl, you are such a Leo. Such a little theatrical romantic at heart.
Yes, I really am. I really, really am. I love love, I want to see everybody else in love and whatever that means for them, whatever, but I'm definitely a romantic. When I was younger, I didn't understand that about myself, but as I got older, I was like, oh yes, yes, the flowers, the everything. I want it all. The glitz, the drama, the movie, dinner, everything. That's me,
She's like, she wants the full story arc.
Yeah, she said the
please.
drama. She threw that in there. Like, I
Yeah.
want the flowers, the teddy bear, the box of chocolates. Give me the drama too. Like,
Yes.
the passion. That's what it is.
Oh.
It's passion. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I just can't deal with the everybody's different, but I like a little bit of I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. Just I feel that a lot of people kind of skip over the romance part in relationships once they actually get into a relationship, and that's kind of like the sad part. So all I can say is keep it fresh. Don't lose that part. Don't lose that aspect whenever you do get in a relationship.
Yes.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely.
It takes effort to maintain the spark, but I
Hmm.
think as long as both people are on the same page, it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
don't be afraid to still like take your partner out on dates and like, like I used to be so anti Valentine's Day. I used to hate it even in the first years of my relationship, but my partner really likes it. And now I look forward to it and I love it. Like I love when he just shows up with like champagne and like a little card and he gets me like these really nice chocolates. And I always get like a little gift, like something cute from Sephora. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like why was I hating on this? Like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
your
like
Capricorn self.
I
My
know.
God. You hate
Let's not
anything
spend the money.
with joy.
Yes, I know. That's so true. I need to stop that. Anything that gives joy.
It's like you hate Christmas, girl.
I know, but it's because I work in retail, so I literally have to work Boxing Day. I have to work Black Friday, and then I either
Oh,
have to work New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. I have to pick one or the other. And then malls are always open an extra hour longer. And people are rude to you because they decide to do their Christmas shopping last minute and they're taking all their frustrations on you. And I'm like, okay, well, don't be mad at me that everything's sold out. Why did you come 3 days before Christmas? You don't
me.
love your family. Like you don't. Stop.
I was
And then
notorious for that.
we have like such shit like our snow, like our winters can be really harsh in Canada, especially in Toronto. So if you
Mm.
have a snowstorm, it has to take a lot for the city to like have a snow day. So the roads will be shit and then the malls will be like, nope, we're still open. So you're expected to drive in this shitty weather to come to work.
Hell no.
So that's why I hate
Mm-mm.
Christmas. I'm so sorry, guys,
Okay.
but
I'm sorry that I judged you.
I
It
know.
sounds terrible.
But I was
Yeah,
like
no.
I was telling my dad too. I was like, next Christmas, wherever job I have, I don't care if I have to quit, I will. I'm like, I'm going to Trinidad and I will be having a Trini Christmas. So I will have Christmas
Ooh.
there
Oh, that
with
sounds
my
so
family.
fun.
So that is on my bucket list. I'm going to have a Trini Christmas. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We're manifesting, speaking that into your existence.
Yes.
Really. Oh, it's happening. It's already happened.
It already
It's already
happened.
happened.
Yes.
You have to just catch up. You just have to let time do its thing, you know?
Mhm.
Yes. I love that.
Okay. So back to some astrology, back to the ascendant and the descendant
Oh,
axes.
I was having
Hmm.
Oh,
fun.
I'm so sorry. Got my Capricorn ass. Had to be like, hey
She's
guys.
like, crack the whip.
Yeah, sorry.
Back to what we were talking about. No, I
Yes,
love it.
talking about the descendant and
Yes.
how it's not just about marriage and spouses and your romantic relationships. It's also about boring stuff too, guys, like your professional relationships, your business relationships, and your friendships too as well, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Just any kind of interpersonal connections that you may have, how you interact with people on an everyday basis. Your descendant can show you a lot about how you show up in the world in relation to others, not just like how they perceive you, but how they interact with you. And that may not always be the same as how you show up as yourself, aka akin to more of your sun sign, or how you make a first impression akin to your ascendant. It really does take the relationship that you have with these people, whether it's in passing or more in depth, like Nicole said, to really show you what your descendant does. So, like we said, the descendant is the point on the western horizon when you're born. It is on the cusp of the seventh house. We mentioned that the seventh house does rule over relationship themes, but again, also partnerships and businesses. It is the other, so other people in your lives. And we also talked about the fact that it rules over open enemies. So
Mhm.
it's so
Yeah.
funny that we're saying that, because it's like a typical like enemies to lovers trope. If you're on book talk or you read a lot, that's a very romantic trope in literature and media in general, where you may be meeting somebody who is mirroring the parts of yourself that you either are missing or lack or don't like, and they end up being the person who is coming to complete you in a way. And I hate saying that, because I don't want anybody who is single or not partnered, either whether by circumstance or by choice, to feel like they're lacking something because they don't have a partner. I don't want them to feel like that at all. But I think your descendant is a good starting point in your chart to see the kind of person that maybe you should open yourself up to more when you are regarding a relationship, instead of, especially a romantic one, as more of a partnership than anything else. I feel like obviously we'll talk about other placements in the chart, with regards to the descendant, specifically having the descendant ruler in whichever one of the houses where that is true.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that some people have a more practical approach to relationship than others. The more romantic ones of us who do want the fairy tale tend to see them another way, but we'll get into that later in the episode.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to touch on what you said, Winnie. Yes, like the descendant does show, like I mentioned before, it shows what missing qualities. And so relationships or partnerships and friendships that we have, if that person so happens to embody the seventh house, then we can learn to grow and learn those qualities too as well. And like I like how you said how, because whenever I was reading up about this, I'm like, I don't like the term our other half or somebody that can complete us, because I feel like
Yes.
that was a term that was
Mhm.
used a lot, and I was like,
To
no, 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 no,
subjugate
no.
women.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was like, no, I don't like that term. I'm like, it's so that we can grow. And it's funny too because so when I was, again, writing like my notes for this, a lot of people are like, it's where you can meet your partner. It's where you can like find out about your spouse and like people that you would date. And while I do find that there is some truth to that, I was on TikTok and I actually came across an astrologer, and he talks about the seventh house. His username is Hidden Astrologer, and he was like, no, 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 I don't believe in any of that because at the end of the day, the birth chart ultimately is about you and your consciousness. So the seventh house is not necessarily about your partner, but it's about your attitude and your approach to relationships.
Interesting.
And so I was like, okay, that's true. So he was like, it's your attitude and how you approach people. And then when I was reading the comment section, someone's like, yes, I agree with this. And that your Jupiter is your husband and that your seventh house is your approach to your husband. I
Oh,
know. How do you feel about that, Jada? How do you feel about
that
that?
was a curveball.
Yeah.
I know. Wait, that was my first time ever. I've heard that your Jupiter sign can show you signs of who could potentially be your husband, or
Mhm.
a sign that would be, kind of compatible to you in that way. But I'm looking at mine and I'm like, Jupiter and Sagittarius.
No.
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't say that. No,
Oh,
like,
oh. Love them, love them. You know what I'm saying? Hilarious, great people, great people. Like, I feel like I really learn from them. I feel like I can really, have an adventure with them. But when it comes down to actually committing and being a little bit more like practical about like where is this going, I don't really find that. I feel like I would have to grow with that person. I don't feel like it would be something that would be natural. I feel like it would be a little bit like tumultuous in many ways.
Yes, I feel like that's what they do best. Tumultuous.
No, please, not again, not again, not again. It's just, yeah, no, no, no. I mean, like I said, great people. I don't want anybody to ever feel like, oh my God, I'm Sag. Like, why don't people like me? No, people love Sagittarians. They are very,
That's the problem. Everyone
charismatic.
loves them.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody sees that light within them. So it just makes it a little bit difficult for them to want to settle down because they're like, why settle for one when I can have this one and that one and that one and this one
Exactly.
and
Thank
this
you
one
for
and that one.
outlining the problems with Sag people. It's so funny. I think everyone, all women kind of talk about their signs and they're like, well, I'm great, but like, yeah, the men of my sign are trash. But no one is more adamant about not being like their male counterparts, like Sag women. Immediately, just you get so offended if you even like put them in the same category. They're like, we're not like them. They're not, no, I'm not like that. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. It's like, girl, I just said, I was like, oh, you're a Sag? Yeah, but I'm not like no, the men are different.
even the women
But
can separate themselves from Sagittarius men.
I know it's sad. I mean, sadly, you're not. Y'all are kind of like, what
Girl,
and
they're
what.
the same.
What and what. I've noticed it. I've noticed it. But I've noticed the women, honestly, I feel like Sagittarians in general are romantics at heart. They really are. They really love love. But when it comes down to actually like creating a house and creating a life, they're like, wait a minute, what?
Yes.
You were serious? Like, what?
I tell people all the time, it's not the romance that's the problem, it's the commitment.
Yes. 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 I can't even tell you. I mean, but they do commit though. That's the thing. I have seen them commit, but they're always
It
like,
needs
but I
to
feel
be
like something's
someone that's
missing.
cracking the whip constantly.
But
Like
that's
Yeah.
you need to
exhausting.
really make their life hell for them to want to be. Like, I would do the work, but you gotta give them hell daily.
That's exhausting. Shout out to y'all.
It
Whoever
is.
is dating a
It
Sag,
is.
married,
It was
dating, committed.
it
Shout
was
out to
so
you.
funny because the older I get, I always analyze people's relationships in some terms to my parents. And like my mom's a Leo, my dad's a Scorpio. My mom grew up with brothers, my dad grew up with mainly sisters. And their dynamic is so funny to me because I'm just like, I know that part of this marriage and why it works is the fact that like my mom has kept her foot firmly on my dad's neck for the past 30 plus years. And she's never going to let up. And that's why he's still here.
I know. I was just talking to one of my clients before we hopped on this call, and she was saying, I never realized how similar Leos and Scorpios are.
Very
They're very, very similar. And I was like, that is very true. That is very true. And I was like, everybody's like Scorpios are so mysterious. And I'm like, they're really not. Like, they're very straightforward, very, very straightforward. If
They
you know
are.
them.
They're just difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very complicated, by nature. It's, they can be a little bit scattered at times, but, once you get to know them, you're like, oh, okay, you're just going through something right now. It's all right. You're
Leos
just,
and Scorpios, like, to me, both very ego driven, both very passionate,
yes.
both have very deep capacity for anger and holding grudges. They're very similar, like you
Oh,
said.
I feel exposed.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm working on it. That's what therapy's for. That's what therapy's
They
for.
just, one can be like, one seethes quietly more so beneath the surface, the Scorpio, but Leos are more apt to like voice whatever's bothering them and pop off like immediately
Yes.
without a second thought.
Yes, and it can be a little bit embarrassing at times because afterwards, like I'll probably if I go off on somebody, it's 9 times out of 10 it's been built up, and I I've noticed that, it doesn't take much for me to voice my opinion. But afterwards, if I tell somebody off, I'll go home and cry. I'm like, why did I tell them that? Why? Because, I'm ruled by the heart, so everything that when I feel deeply, I also, like, if I hurt somebody's feelings, I can feel that I've hurt somebody's feelings, or I can feel that I've offended somebody. So it makes me so sad. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to curse you out. It was just, what happened was, you did this and I reacted like this and I should not have. But I apologize. I apologize for taking it there, but I don't do that anymore. That was definitely when I was younger. Not anymore. I don't have the energy. Do not have the energy.
Apologizing is very big of you. We know Leos hate being wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. At times. But then my ego would just now was like, when am I wrong? Like, when you said that.
You're like, no, I wasn't wrong. I just took an inappropriate approach, maybe.
Right. I misinterpreted what was actually happening, and I'll never do it again. That's the apology most of the time.
I have learned from your theatrics, and I won't do something that is going to make you react that way again if you don't piss me off.
Period. Okay. We know the trigger points. We do know the trigger points.
So just don't do that, and then I won't do that.
Right.
Deal? Thank you.
Love you. Okay. Agree to disagree. Bye.
So, recap for the Astrobaddies and daddies. Since we're talking about the Descendant ruler specifically in this episode, we have to remind you what a ruling planet is. So essentially, when you look at your birth chart, and I hope you guys all have accurate birth times for the best read on this, the Descendant ruler is going to be the sign, the planet that rules over the sign on your descendant. So for example, since Nicole has a Cap rising, her descendant is in Cancer, which means that her descendant ruler is the moon. So Nicole needs to go into her birth chart, put it in whatever app she's using to see it, look at her birth chart, and find the house that the moon is in.
And it's the 12th house.
Oh my God.
Okay. So leave me alone.
So once you find out the house, it's actually the house that is going to tell you what your approach to relationships is based on the planet being placed there. So I feel like in astrology, now that we're getting a little bit deeper into reading the birth chart, I still find that we tend to like astrology on a surface level where we're just like, oh, what sign is this? What sign is that? And we relate a lot of stuff to that. But when we start looking a little bit more deeply into the birth chart and the houses, for example, which can be very intimidating because there's a lot of nuance to what happens in houses. And again, like Nicole said, the Jupiter thing coming out of left field, I'm still shook over that. But the way that things are interpreted in astrology a lot of the time, because there's so many conflicting ways to read things, can be very intimidating and confusing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of why we're talking about this today. We're going to tell you a little bit of how the Descendant behaves in each of the houses that you find that planet in. But we also wanted to chat a bit about what having the Descendant planet in that planet kind of means for the kind of partners that you are apt to be attracted to and attract. And I think that's going to be like the funner part of our episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, reminder for everyone. So, I have my little notebook here. If you have your Descendant in Aries, your planetary ruler for that is Mars. If you have your Descendant in Taurus and Libra, it is Venus. If it's in Gemini or Virgo, it is Mercury. If it is in Cancer, it's the moon. If it's in Leo, it's the sun. Depending on whether you're using the traditional or modern astrology system, Scorpio will either be in Mars or Pluto. Sagittarius will be in Jupiter. Capricorn will be in Saturn. Aquarius will be in either Saturn or Uranus. And Pisces will be Neptune or Jupiter. So I typically look at the traditional ruler, and I can't even tell you why. It just resonates more with me for some reason to look at the traditional rulership of a planet versus the modern ruler. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that the modern rulers, you're using the outer planets that have way longer transits a lot more. So using generational planets, to me, I kind of feel almost like the effect is lessened or dulled a bit because they are in transit in the same sign for so long. But that's literally just a personal preference of mine. So for me, as a Pisces rising, for example, I tend to look at what Jupiter is doing in my chart versus Neptune, for example. So if you're somebody who has a planet, has a sign that's ruled by two planets, it's up to you. Personally, I feel like if I was a Scorpio descendant or something, I would look at Mars, but you can look at both or either or. It's kind of basically what resonates more with what you uncover in your own research, I think. Like, what do you guys think?
No, I agree with that, and I like that. And one thing I've learned when I got into astrology is just like I don't only have to look at one placement. I can look at multiple placements if I feel like they pertain to me too as well. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
and
like,
different systems. Like I look at my
yeah,
birth chart in Placidus. I look at it in whole sign. I see like what is fitting with what's going on at the moment or the
yeah,
present moment.
yeah, exactly. And then kind of like how, for example, like, yeah, I have my Descendant in Cancer. So, but I'm not only going to look at that, I'm going to look at where my moon is on my chart, which is going to be my 12th house. And I'm also going to read that too, because why not? Knowledge is power. Like, learn more for you, like, see what works for you and resonates for you. Like, we're such complex human beings. It's like, look at multiple ones. You know what I mean? I don't know. How do you feel about that, Jada?
I mean, to piggyback off what you just said, I remember when I first even discovered my Placidus chart, I was like, what is this? I was like strictly like, okay, tropical, that's it. Like more modern astrology, I'm with it, and then I started getting into sidereal and I was like, okay, how, okay, so everything that I thought I knew is like I'm still in the ballpark, but there's more information, way more information than I ever could have imagined, which is why, when you said it can be a little bit confusing, that's why, some people are like, okay, well, what do I look at? Like, what is the right way? And like you said, it's whatever resonates with you the most, and, but, for me, I typically stick to, more modern astrology, just because that's what I feel most comfortable with at this point in my life. But at some point I do know that I'm going to graduate and be, growing up. You guys like very astrology experts, but I think that.
Girl, don't tell them that. We're not experts.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all are. Yes, y'all are.
Yeah, we're just drunk people we're just two drunk best friends that have always talked shit about Sagittarius men. So that's
No, but this is why we love having guests, because you guys supplement so much to our journey while we are still learning. Because obviously we have to do research for these episodes, but we always uncover so much more in these conversations that give us a different perspective. We had a guest who was talking about sidereal, and my sidereal chart still like blows my mind. I always tell my friends, I'm like, guys, I'm basically an undercover Aries. Like, don't fuck with me. Like, you haven't seen my sidereal chart, bitch. Don't fuck with me.
My alter ego. Our sidereals are alter egos, guys.
Exactly.
Literally.
So I'm like, I'm a diet Aries, you guys, based on this chart. And there's still so much that I don't know. So that's why we're always grateful to have people like you on, because I feel like these conversations really do expand our pool of knowledge and how we interact with astrology in the first place, which is like ultimately what we're here for, aside from, getting tipsy on wine.
Yeah. Definitely. I would be I guess like my alter ego would be a Cancer. And when I discovered that, I was like, what do you mean? I've been a Leo my whole life. I've been a Leo my whole life. What do you mean I could possibly be a Cancer? I love Cancers. I just, I was just taken aback. Like I'm like, oh, I can be nurturing. I can be very motherly to people. I can be, the type of person who just, has this hard exterior, but is really a softie on the inside. But I was like, but that can also mean that can also be like a Leo too. So I was like, I don't know. You just
see, both shoes fit.
Right.
But it was really cute when you were like, I said something out of pocket and I hurt somebody's feelings, and then I went home and cried. I was like, Cancer vibes.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so cute and funny.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, a crybaby at heart. Like, if I'm telling you, I don't even know okay, so I'll probably tell this story. I went to a party and I felt very uncomfortable, but I felt like everybody was against me. I don't know why. It was weird. It was a weird situation. I just felt like everybody was kind of like, everybody in the room was a Pisces, basically, and I was like the only fire sign. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like, what is happening right now? I've never experienced this before. And y'all, it was a mess. I told these people, it was like a group of people. I told these people some things, and I went home. I cried my eyes out. I was like, I can't believe I did that. I called my dad. He was like, it's okay. Sometimes you got to tell people off. You got to tell them what is on your fucking mind. I was like, but no, Dad, no, not all the time. He's an Aquarius, so
that's like, so bad. He's like, yeah, you tell them people what the tea is. He's like, you gotta tell them, because if you don't tell them, nobody will. Because people don't speak their minds, and people are pussies. Yeah, I can already imagine that conversation.
And I'm just like,
somebody had to stand up and tell those people what they needed to hear.
Yeah. So now I'm just like, okay, I just know when I'm feeling offended, just, leave gracefully. You don't have to pop off, but it was okay. It's one of those things where, but you know what I love about Cancers too? They are the sweetest people. And I feel like people are always trying to hurt their feelings.
Damn,
I feel like they nobody protects them, the way that, I don't know. They defend themselves for sure, but they save it. Like, they'll confide in somebody else instead of like saying it aloud, to that person.
You know what it is about Cancers is you're totally right. A lot of them are very sweet. They're mainly well-intended, but they have this little petty streak where they like to push people's buttons and then play victim.
Yes. I've noticed that.
You're not wrong.
Are you mad at me? are you mad at me? I'm like,
That's their favorite question.
what?
Like after they did something they know is gonna piss you off. Are you mad at me? Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yes, I know, but I have a soft spot for them. I really do. I really
no,
do.
they're
Because
sweet.
yeah, they don't know how to express their emotions. They keep it all, close to their chest, for
Their
sure.
heart is in the right place, but like they live for the drama. That's why I see those Cancer and Leo parallels, and I'm just like, yes, diet Leo.
Yes. What is
Like
life without drama? You
Leos can
know?
take the heat. The problem with the Cancers is they can't. Like when it bounces back to them, they're just like, oh no, it's not. No, 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 no.
Back brand new.
I know.
Really.
I know. That's okay. We love them. We love cancers, okay? I love a
We do.
cancer.
And girl, I support you. You didn't have to cry. I respect anybody that's cussing out Pisces.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That was my first time ever having an encounter with people where I was just like, what is happening right now? Am I tripping
Girl,
right now?
you didn't know what was happening. They didn't know what was happening. They're delusional. You know that. So no one knew what was
Okay.
happening. You were just trying to
Okay.
put things into perspective.
Right, right. You said it. You said it. I was just like, this is wild. This is wild. I will never be in this predicament ever again. Never with these people. No, 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 no.
Not these people.
No, no. So sorry. Please
Oh my god, you're so
don't send
funny.
the invitation. I'm declining. 100%.
Oh my
I have to water my plants.
god. Oh.
I have to watch the moon.
Okay,
I have to be one with the stars.
let's get into how descendant planets behave when they're in the houses. Or did you guys want to do, what you're typically attracted to based on your descendant planets? What do you want to do first?
Mm.
So my footnotes are like your like the house placements.
Okay.
That's what I did.
We can do
But
that
like
first then.
yeah, maybe we should do that and then we can talk
Yeah.
about the planets after.
Yeah, that's
Let's just do
totally
that.
fine.
But before we
Okay.
do, we should top up.
Yeah, we're gonna top
because this
up.
wine is so juicy. Thank you, Deanna, if you're still listening.
Right?
She probably just got the shout out. Okay, bye.
Okay.
Jada, how are you doing over there with your cut water? Are you girl? I don't think I saw you take a sip yet.
I no,
Oh
I did.
My
I
God, it's
swear, I did.
full.
I refilled. I
Okay.
was
oh
like,
okay okay.
yeah, yeah, yes.
I
No,
mean,
I
we're both like
definitely.
getting tipsy on this episode.
Yeah, it's good, right? My astrology.
Okay, so let's talk about the descendant ruler in your first house, which is also what I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take it away.
All right. So typically, the ruler in the houses tends to refer more to how you experience relationships with others. So typically people with the descendant in the first house, they tend to view relationships as an extension of themselves, and they really view their partner as a reflection of them. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
important for them to have partners that coincide with their values. Their value
Mm-hmm.
system is very important to them. So they have to have a partner who reflects that. And they obviously want partners who reflect the best qualities of themselves. And I find that this is really true. For me personally, the sign that I have on my descendant as a Pisces rising is Virgo. So I have my Mercury in my first house. If anyone knows anything about Mercury, Mercury rules over collecting information, communication, and just basically anything regarding knowledge and curiosity a lot of the time, which are all themes that are present within people who have Virgo and Gemini placement. I do love a guy that's like quick-witted, intelligent, I also like my first house is kind of split between Aries and Pisces, and I have my Mercury in Aries. So I do like somebody who is like me. Like I'm very action oriented. I'm a go-getter. I am somebody who takes initiative. I have like no patience at all. I also am a first house Mars, so I should preface that Mars in my first house, I like things fast. Okay. So most of the time, I cannot wait for somebody to get something done. I'll do it just because if it needs to be done, it needs to be done, and I'll do it. And I love people who have that same kind of like hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a downside on maybe projecting so much of myself into my relationships is that being embarrassed in any way by my partner is literally the worst thing that could ever happen to me.
Yeah.
Because I do find that I do kind of over, I don't want to say I over identify with my relationships, but I put a lot of weight into what my partnership looks like on the outside to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's a downside. Like, I shouldn't really care about that, but I absolutely do view my partner as like, okay, like, if we're supposed to be a team, you need to be acting right out in the world. Because I can't be hearing some bullshit about how you were doing this, this, and that, and the other, and having that reflect poorly on me.
Mm-hmm.
So, very much identified with that when I read it. I was just like, oh, like, does that mean I want a guy who's a bookworm? I'm like, no, I want a guy who's basically like another version of me. Like, my like point B out in the world when I'm point A and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I know it's not the most healthy dynamic. I'm working on it.
Okay. I mean, I resonate with that because, you know, Aries is my descendant sign as well.
Oh my
And
gosh, please tell us more. You have an Aries descendant. Do you feel like you're
yes,
somebody that's like more confident with yourself when you're like in relationships? Do you feel like maybe there's something that comes more naturally to you? Like, do you feel like you have like, I mean, you're a Leo sun, so I'm just like, you're already magnetic, but you probably would want someone that's maybe like energetic and assertive, maybe?
You really are. I told you
yes,
that in the email. I was like, girl, you radiate warmth. I
Yes,
can feel that in
yes.
your
Thank
email.
you.
yes,
Thank you so
yes.
much. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, I do want somebody who is very bold, who's very daring, somebody who is a go-getter. You know, that is attractive to me. Somebody who's ambitious, somebody who, you know, looks good beside me. And I don't know why, but like you said, I 100% resonated when you said this, Winnie. I was listening to you when you said he cannot go out there and embarrass me in this world. And I was like, yes, like please act right when you go outside because I can't take it. I just can't. Um, I feel like in relationships, for some reason, it's hard for me to accept imperfections. Because I'm a perfectionist with my Libra rising, it's like, okay, you know, everything has to be perfect. I want everything to look perfect. I want everything to feel perfect. But
You want
when it's not,
harmony.
and yes, you know, that's exactly the word. And when it does not feel harmonious and Mars, you know, is the planet of, you know, war and destruction sometimes. I'm like,
Chaos.
okay, we gotta we gotta get this together. But
But you like that. Isn't that the worst part? You don't like it, but you're drawn to it.
drawn to it, yes, drawn to a little bit of chaos, unfortunately. And I don't know why. I was actually talking to a good friend of mine. She was like, you like a challenge, you like somebody who is going to challenge you. And I was like, that is sick. That is sick. Yes. Why can't I just like be like, okay, this is easy going, this is normal, we're, you know, blah 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 blah. But yeah, there's definitely something about a challenge and working towards a common goal together that I'm very attracted to. So does do I relationships can be a little bit difficult at times for me just because I'm a very, you know, independent person. So having to share my life with somebody, I just want to make sure that they have their own life as well. Like I can't be with somebody who's codependent or doesn't have their own thing going on. Then I'm like, okay, all right, now I feel like, you know, what are you doing? You know, I'm trying to do my thing. Okay, are you gonna, do you have things to do? You know, like that's just, you know, what are your hobbies? You know, what are your goals? What are your
Yes.
long-term goals, short-term goals? Like what are they? You know, that's just me though.
So fire sign qualities is kind of what you're drawn to because, like, you know, Aries are kind of like go-getters too. So I can see where it's like, hey, like, you know, like take initiative, like get shit done, like keep it going, like, keep it moving. And like Aries energy just also moves really fast too as well. So
Yeah.
that's like with fire signs in general, like that fire energy. So do you feel like you're just like, okay, like we like each other, can we start dating now? Like immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Are we boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yes.
Are we
Yes.
boyfriend girlfriend yet?
I mean, it's not rocket science. I like you. You like me. Like,
Yeah, period. That's
let's
it.
do
Let's get
this.
it going.
Right. Yes. Which can be, not the best. Not the best. Like, take it slow.
Yes.
You
I
know.
relate to that. My Venus is in Aries, and I find that I move slow. Like, I'm still a Taurus. I move slow until I don't. I'm kind of just like, okay, I just need to be the boss. So if I feel like you want me too much, I just need to like make you wait until I decide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But in my head, I already decided because I'm like, if I'm giving you the time of day, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
just need to be the one who like lays down the law. Just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Hmm.
like we can be official now because I said so.
Yes. Yes.
So
How does
you
that
get the last
translate?
say is what you're
Absolutely.
saying.
The last word will always be mine, period.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That can be a little bit challenging. I'm sure that
It is,
there's been.
girl.
Okay, I was like, not to get too much into your business, but I'm like, that can be a little bit challenging. I'm assuming.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I'm learning that relationships are more give and take and not me telling people what to do all the time.
It's okay though. It's okay. It's okay.
Some
It's
guys like
necessary.
that.
Exactly. In some capacities, some, different settings. It works. It works. But, when there's another guy who's, you know, also a leader and somebody who's very dominant, I'm sure that's like, you're not about to tell me what to do. Like, you're like, that's when the clash comes in. Like, you're not, what? I wear the pants. Both of us can't wear these pants. Okay.
You know
Somebody's
what's
going to have to give them up.
funny is I actually love when a man puts me in my place respectfully
Yeah. That's what y'all need. That
because
is.
I do know that I do too much sometimes, but I'm doing it on purpose. I'm just like I will push your buttons to see what I can get away with and to see if you're going to have a backbone or not, and eventually like if you keep letting me push you around, I that's how I tend to lose interest in relationships that are
That
going
bull.
well.
Yes, that Taurus energy is through and through. Yes, I 100% get that though, because you don't want a pushover.
No,
You
I
want
need
somebody
to
who
know
can.
you're going to handle business when it comes down to
Right,
it.
right, 100%,
Because
100%.
I can handle business, but I at the end of the day I'm still a Taurus. I'm still traditional in some regard. I do want to I hate this fucking saying, but I do want to quote unquote rest in my femininity. So like I'm already a boss day to day because like I have a job where not unfortunately, I have a job where I'm in a leadership position. So I have like my whole day is telling people what to do and problem solving, etc. I don't want to problem solve in my relationship. That's what you're
Yeah.
here for.
Yeah.
Handle it.
Speak.
I get that. I
Absolutely.
totally get that. What about you, Nicole?
Well, I think it's so funny that because I'm an Aries sun, and you both said something that I've always done in my relationship where I'm like with my partner, I'm like, when you go out there, you represent me, get your act together. And I thought I was the only one. And I've literally told my boyfriend, I've literally told Phil, I'm like, when you go out there, you represent me. So fucking get it together. But he likes that. He likes that. He's like, yes, ma'am. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, do not embarrass me. And like when wherever, even if I'm not there, like get your shit together and be looking good, okay? Like don't miss a
Hmm.
beat, like please. So the fact that you guys both said that made me feel so much better about myself.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
girl, it's
Yeah.
completely valid.
Yeah. Safe space here. Safe space.
It's completely valid. I see that. Like that's literally my worst nightmare. I was like, no matter what you do, it's the fact that it might reflect poorly on me. I'm like, that should be top of mind for you all the time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
And that's when I will feel, because if you act a fool, that's when I feel disrespectful, because I'm like, okay, forget your reputation. I don't give a fuck. You don't care about how I look. I'm sorry. You're
Oh
making
my
me
gosh.
look bad.
Yes.
Like, can we focus?
Yeah, focus here. What's the priority here?
Yes. Yes. I get that. 100%. 100%. Yeah. But the lesson is though, it's not it's and that's the lesson, right? With Aries Descendant, it's to make sure, and with, the first house, it's like to make sure that you're not too self-focused, because the person does have feelings. They are,
Too
they
bad.
are
Kidding.
yeah. So it's not always about, us, unfortunately, but, about them and how they, feel as well. But, we're learning. I'm learning. I'm
Yes,
learning.
yes,
I'm learning.
absolutely.
I'm learning too.
Oh gosh.
All right, Descendant in the second house. So for people who have their Descendant in the second house, they tend to be more money motivated in terms of
Mm.
seeking relationships. They definitely do look at it through a lens of they want somebody who can provide financial security, and they also are take a more submissive approach in that sense when they enter relationships, and they kind of allow the relationship to mold and shape their values rather than the other way around. So I feel like where you're having one issue when you have the Descendant in the first house, which is that the house native is maybe a little bit self absorbed. In the second house, because the primary goal here when entering a partnership, romantic partnership, is to kind of be taken care of, the thing that should be driving that union should be their own internal value system. But they're willing to kind of mold themselves to their partner if, and the caveat is if, the partner can provide them with some financial benefits.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like from my notes, I feel like with if you have a Taurus descendant, then your relationships would have themes that are centered around your values and your self-worth, right? So maybe you'd be drawn to people who also value
Money.
possessions and
Mhm.
money, and you
Mhm.
crave a committed, stable relationship. And
Mhm.
I do think that this could be a good placement because your partner could also bring you financial success and you guys can build something together, because that's what Taurus energy is all about, right? Building something together. And not only just building love, but we're also building material. That's what we
Mhm.
want,
Yes.
right? We want material too as well. I'm a material girl. I live in a material world. And what? Like I don't, like
It's like
Yeah.
the late stage capitalist
I know.
motto.
I know. But yeah, and then
Yeah.
also committed to not committed, I'm sorry, like drawn to a partner where you guys are able to depend on each other and you guys
Mhm.
can both equally rely on each other,
Mhm.
right? That's I
I
don't know.
think, yes, kind of splitting the load, but more so having a partner that is going to take the lead on finances and be a provider
Mhm.
is the ideal scenario for these people, where they just want a very, like, romance is not at the forefront, reputation is not on the forefront. They want security
Mhm.
Mhm.
first and
Yes.
foremost.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. They don't. Yeah. Yeah. They want to make sure they have a nice home that they live in. They want to make sure that the bills are taken care of. They don't have to have the you know they don't mind a little bit of luxury now and then. They're still very practical, but I do feel that at times they just want to feel like, okay, we're not going to be on the street in 3 months. Like, we have savings, we have things lined up to where, if one of us falls short, the other one can actually take over. Or, if one of us can't work, the other one can still provide and take care of all the bills. So they're definitely the signs that are, very, very, forward thinkers when it comes to finances for sure. They're very financially literate. Very.
Yes.
They're on that Shira 7 plan.
Yeah.
What? Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. Like, my man's gonna take care of the bills. They're like
Yeah.
on that, everybody hates Chris. My man has 3 jobs. I don't need this.
Yeah. 3 jobs.
What job? What job do I have? Yes, shout out to Shira. She is funny. She's hilarious.
She is funny. I was thinking the other day, and I was literally like, my friends asking me about different men in the zodiacs and whatever. It's like, what if I like a Taurus? I was just like, well, are you a sugar mama? Because Taurus men listen to Shira 7 and they're trying to be a housewife. So
yeah. Oh my God. Yes, it's actually so true.
it's
That's
done
so
a complete 180. Like, back in the day, Taurus man was like, yes, I'm going to provide for my 3 secret families. And now they're like,
Whoa.
no, I want to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of men are just getting more comfortable with their femininity nowadays. So they're just trying to figure out and operate in that element without, completely taken away from their masculinity. But, I feel like as a society, we're still trying to find the balance,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't resent that at all. My only issue with that is like, okay, if a man wants to be a house husband, like, go off, king. I respect it. But you can't be mad at the housewives. Like, if you are aspiring to be a house husband, first of all, just be transparent and say that. But also, like, don't have this weird resentment towards women if you're in the camp that wants that and can't achieve it. That's all.
That part.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Like, support the house husbands that are not jaded and secretly in competition with women.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
All right.
Like that.
Descendant in the 3rd house. So this was interesting to me because I found that from what I read, this is a more social placement. So people who have the Descendant in the 3rd house seem to view their relationship as more of an extension of their community. So we know that 3rd house deals with Gemini themes, essentially. So we're talking about communication. We're talking about relationships with your siblings and your immediate community, whether that's like your neighborhood or whatever else. The couples, they might meet, like, let's say, like, you're dating neighbors or something, if you want to take it in a more literal sense. But they connect and they're at their best when they're part of a greater whole, essentially. And a consistent thing that needs to happen within their relationships is building like an intellectual rapport and having a lot of communication and talking things through. That will be like the primary aspect of their relationship and how they kind of keep the fire going versus other placements that are a little bit more literally physical and passionate. This is a placement where it's giving like friends to lover vibes, similar to like Descendant in the 11th house, which we will talk about when we get there, but very much as like, it's giving like a buddies who are also lovers kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, no, I actually because again, for like my footnotes too as well, like when we talk about Gemini on the Descendant, yeah, like they kind of want a relationship that feels like a friendship, and that you would probably maybe meet your partner through your everyday routine or your immediate environments. So you would probably meet someone through school or like the grocery store or like the gym or the yoga studio or like any community events, like if you're going to the fall fair or something, like
I want to go to a fall fair. That's on the list. Or like, girls, your brother's hot friends. Hello.
Oh my God, yes. Absolutely. Oh my God. I think about high school. I think about all of like my friends that had like a hot older brother. And I was like, play it cool, play it cool. I'm like, and then I look back at him like, bitch, he ain't looking at you. He's 17. He's looking at
Yes, he is.
Oh my god,
Oh
toxic.
my god! I was like, you never know. You never know. Honestly, you just. I was like, well,
The worst
I
is
don't
when they
know.
walk
Depending
out of
on.
the shower with their shirt off. I'm like, why the fuck are you doing that? There's a bunch of teenage girls here. You're doing
That's
that on
why
purpose.
they're
Oh,
doing that.
Yeah, they were putting on a show. They knew what they were doing. He
I
knew what he
love
was
my
doing.
sister, and she's a lot younger than me, so this would never fly anyway. But like, my biggest sadness in this world is not having a hot, not hot, I don't care if my brother is hot, but not having an older brother, because one of my good friends had an older brother and his friends were all hot, and I was always just like, so girl, like, what are you doing after school? Can we go to your house? Are your brother's friends gonna be there?
yeah. Oh my god, the shit that teenage girls fucking do. Oh my god.
Listen,
And you know what? Why is it stopping your teenage years? Like women, like let's carry that energy into adulthood.
yes, like, unless your
Yeah.
brother's a certified dirtbag, then kind of like that's a loss, write it off. But if I had had an older brother, I'm not saying what I would or wouldn't have
With
done,
his friends.
but
Yeah, I never had that experience. Like, I went to an all girls Catholic high school, and any brothers that they had were younger. I was
oh,
always like the big sis. So yeah, I'm I'm still. It's weird seeing my brother as an adult now.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, okay, just some
just
things
get
I just don't need to
ready.
know.
Get ready for his little friends to kind of be like, yo, your
She was
sister's old.
hot. Yeah.
I'd rather not know. Please, please keep that information to yourself. No, 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 no. I can't. I can't. No, no, no. Not younger. Not. I just don't have the patience. I just don't. I just don't. Especially with having a younger brother. My brother is 8 years younger than me.
Oh,
So
that's a big gap.
yeah, but no, we're actually really close. Like
That's
he's like
good.
my best friend. Yeah, it's literally like he's like one of my best friends. He knows my whole life. Like so, I can't imagine dating somebody his age or a
No,
little bit
not
older.
at your age. That's like,
No,
that's
no.
literally
That's
what, 22, which is basically the equivalent to dating a 14-year-old in
Yeah, that's
their
true.
brain development.
Yeah. The frontal lobe hasn't developed yet, so
right,
um,
right, right. Yeah, yeah, no,
um,
no.
I don't know. How are we
And being
feeling?
curious. I think
Yes.
curiosity is a big thing for people who
Hmm.
have their descendant in the third house. It is just people who don't stifle their curiosity and really water it and nurture it and encourage it
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
how they're going to find their footing and connect with people best, because that's something that is important to them, is just like expanding their well of knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put
Definitely,
it. Absolutely.
definitely. Yes, they're very intellectual people. So if you can stimulate their mind, they are just like, oh my gosh, I want more.
Hmm.
That's how I view them. Like they love a good conversation. They love someone who can make them laugh. They love someone who has great banter.
Hmm.
Who I think they really enjoy people who can also blend well with their community as well. Like they really want somebody to be included in what they do. Um, and if they don't, I feel like that element can be a little bit. It can be a little bit boring for them if you can't really stimulate their mind and talk about the things that they like or the community that they're a part of. They get excited for people to be a part of their world. That's really what it is. And if they don't really care, if the partner doesn't really care about what they have going on, especially like their hobbies and stuff, it can kind of ruin the relationship a little bit.
Yeah, it's a downer.
Yeah.
All right, so someone with the descendant in the fourth house, they tend to appreciate somebody who has family values. So they tend to be drawn to partners where they can very early on establish that they're building towards having a family. They like people who tend to be more on the nurturing side, maybe a little bit motherly. They like people who are close to their families. That seems to be a very big theme for them, is to kind of like immerse themselves into either their partners' families or have their partners do that in their families or vice versa. And Whereas, unfortunately, if they don't have a close relationship with people in their family, that can kind of be a trigger for them. But that's something that they're drawn to. So even if there's somebody who has fallen out with their family and or is estranged from them, they tend to seek out partners who are close to their families and that have big family units so that they can kind of like throw themselves into that. That's a theme that they like a lot. I feel like for men, a lot of the time this manifests in them viewing their partner kind of almost like a second mom, unfortunately. And those are the qualities that they
Yeah.
kind of look for. And your individuality as a person was removed from that.
Oh, wow.
I think that the negative part of people who have placements like the Descendant ruler in this house is that if unfortunately the native is someone who is unhealed or who has a difficult family background, that could kind of manifest into the kind of partner that you're looking for is just somebody who is going to fill the void of the mother, which could be very difficult for the person that is in that position if they are viewing the relationship from another lens.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like this placement would be like somebody who already has a close connection with their family, or they want their partner to have a close connection with their family, or vice versa. And so sometimes they can integrate their partners into their family, and that can either be comforting or that can also feel overbearing, right? Because like there are just some people who are like, hey, like I don't have a close relationship with my family. I don't want to see your parents or be with your family like every weekend, like you know what I mean. So yeah, themes of like home and family will show up with this placement in relationships. And you would probably also want your partner to feel like home. You want to be somebody that offers you that emotional security, that emotional stability and safety. They also say that this placement can show late marriage.
Really?
Yes, it could be late marriage. You kind of want a private relationship. You're not somebody that would want this relationship to be public. And it's, I mean, as a Cancer descendant, like, yes, like, I kind of do agree with that. Like, Winnie, you know, for a really long time, like, I don't want to say a really long time, but like the first year of my relationship, I was like, nobody has to know that I'm in a relationship. I was just so private about it. I was so private. And still till this day, you would go on my Instagram and you wouldn't even know I was in a serious long-term relationship because I just don't post any pictures of my partner or anything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like super private about that. I don't want any attention.
Honestly, as a 12th house moon, I can kind of relate because I feel like I don't post my partners because one, yes, I'm afraid. I'm like, I don't want you doing it dirt, and then people are gonna be like looking at my socials and be like, oh, that's her man.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
No,
me
like,
too. I'm like that too.
One, but two, I don't want to expose anything that I think could make me feel vulnerable. So that is mainly why I try not to like empathize my relationships too much. So I can relate to that as well, wanting to like go through the motions of the relationship progressing from a courtship to an official relationship to an engagement to a marriage, whatever, just very low key and kind of it's nice to have something to yourself that's like just yours that you're kind of savoring and holding space for yourself.
That is exactly how I felt. And I felt like when I tried to explain that to people, they didn't fucking understand it. And it would piss me off because my moon is also in the 12th house too, right? So I'm just like, no, like this is mine. Like I don't have to share this with anybody. Like
exactly, I
fuck
get that.
off. That shit annoyed me. But also too, if you have this placement, if you have a Cancer descendant, then you know you might be somebody that can attract partners or partnerships of someone who's like very nurturing or very like sensitive to you, and also can be like a caretaker. So it's funny that we were saying this like with the previous placement. So like for the first few years of my relationship, my partner had to work from home. And so he was the house husband and he loved it. He loved that title. He ate that shit up. And I loved it too. No,
Your man a Taurus moon?
He's a Taurus rising.
Oh, Taurus rising.
Come home. and laundry was done. The house was clean. Anything I wanted for dinner, he's like, yeah, I'm making it. Tell me when you're coming home. I'm going to make dinner. If I needed him to pick up my prescription, he was getting my prescription. I said, yes, house husband. I love, and he loved the title. He wore that shit with pride. I would go to work. I'm like, what did my boyfriend pack me for lunch today? Like, yes, I love that. And so as a Capricorn rising, I
You
know.
love someone efficient.
Yes, efficient. Yes, because he's a Virgo sun. So efficient, but I know I can come off like very like stoic, straight face, but I think my personal, anyone that's close to me can say that like, yes, I have a sensitive, compassionate side to me, and that
She's a softie.
I am a softie. And even though I have a hard time tapping into that nurturing energy, it's nice to receive it because I do get that from my partner. So
And it
yeah,
brings it out of you more when you feel
that's
like
true.
it's
When I feel
safe
safe.
to expose yourself and the vulnerable parts of you a little more. That will flow out more.
Yeah, I'm able to practice it because it's in my environment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely Cancer. I remember when I first saw this like years ago, and I was like a teenager, and I was first getting into astrology. I'm like, ew, a Cancer descendant? That means it's like Cancer men? Fuck no. And I would never just pay attention to it. But yeah, it's just, again, like we said early in this episode, that the descendant is about the qualities that you lack and that you can grow in this lifetime. That's your lesson in this life.
Damn.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. What do we think? Is that too heavy?
This
No,
house is
no.
house.
Right? It is.
It is.
Yeah.
I think
I
you
love that for
actually
you.
a bit.
Oh, did I think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any
Yeah.
experience with Cancer descendants, Jada?
No, not at
No,
all.
really?
Not at
No one
all.
in your
No. That's why I'm
circle.
like, wow, I'm just soaking it in, honestly. No, I think that that's really nice, a nice dynamic for, it just depends, right? It just depends on who the couple is, but, it's, no, I've never really, I don't think I've ever dated anybody or like, I probably know people who, no, I do. I know somebody who does she's like, yes, I'm here for the house husband. I would love to have a man who just stays home and I go to work and I take care of all the bills and he's taking care of the kids and he's doing this and he's doing that. And I was like, wow, that's a different approach, considering, nowadays. But I also feel that, you know, people just want to feel nurtured in some ways, that's it. It's not even about like, oh, he's a house husband, but no, he's like literally taking care of everything and
Yep.
her,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong
Yes.
with that? What's wrong with
Yeah.
that at the end of the day,
Yeah.
food's done, laundry's done, hello, yes, okay. Somebody has to do it,
Yeah.
preferably not me, so I would be there for it.
Imagine how good it feels to be a man and come home and just like have dinner on the table. You have your slippers warm and ready, and your
Yeah.
little
Okay.
lazy boy already dialed back to like whatever angle you like it at.
Okay.
Yes.
Who wouldn't
Yes.
love that?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's why I said I don't resent the house husband. I'm just like, but own it. Don't make it a competition with women. Just
Mm-hmm.
like stay in
Mm-hmm.
your lane and do your thing.
Yeah. Just own
Mm-hmm.
it. Just embody it. And yeah, like especially as an older sibling, and again having a Cap rising, again like this energy like ages backwards, so you feel like you have so much responsibility at such a young age, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to take on so much, and you don't feel like you kind of get to be a kid, like you're kind of a late bloomer because you just have to be mature and like disciplined and take on responsibilities. So it's really nice going into adulthood and being in a relationship and seeing that energy come through, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can turn my brain off and I can just be a girl. Like I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Like just put my feet up and I can like watch my anime, and like my partner's making dinner for me. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't complain, like, because I didn't get to do that when I was younger. So experiencing that now is just, it's so nice. So Capricorn risings, like there is hope. Okay.
Yeah.
You can
Was it hard
relax.
for you to accept that at some point?
Sorry, repeat that.
Was it hard for you to accept that at some point?
Yes. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Like Especially when we first started dating, I was like, I don't need you to do anything for me. Leave me alone. Give me my space. Like, I would very much be like, yeah, you're crossing the boundaries, because we'll get into a little bit later, but because my partner does have a Taurus rising, so he has a Scorpio descendant.
So he likes mean bitches.
So he no, but like Scorpios, they're in your fucking shit, man. They're in your business, because they're all in or they're not, right?
Mhm.
So his energy is very like, I'm in the forefront, like wherever you are, I will be there. And I'm like, no, I don't like that, because I'm so used to operating independently and doing things on my own. So it was
Mhm.
very hard for me to like step into that energy. But it just makes me feel so girly and feminine. And I just love that I can just turn my brain off. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
I'm always like, goals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
relationship goals. God, I see what you've done for others.
The prayers that you have answered.
Sierra's prayer.
Literally, literally.
All right. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so people who have the Descendant in the 5th house. So typically, like a very artsy bohemian partner or relationship, are attracted to people who are in the creative arts or anything, passion projects, theater. They love pleasure and creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And something interesting that I read about people who have their Descendant in this house is they're trying to make babies.
Yes, children is a theme.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, is
Children
this
is a
the
theme.
baby daddy placement?
Oh,
They're just like, yeah, we like partners that are free spirited and fun and creative, and we want children.
yeah. Children can have some sort of connection to the relationship, or maybe you wanted to like raise a family, or maybe children helped start the relationship in some way. Like
Oh my God.
the theme shows up there a little
Okay,
bit, I
so
would
like
say.
you
Yeah,
met at like your little nephew's birthday party.
yeah. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
The thing about this Descendant placement is they tend to fall in love very fast.
Oh my God, yes, because you guys are so romantic and you're so dramatic, and you just want those fun, creative, expressive partners. That's the energy that you kind of want to bring into your life. You want someone that's like very creative, artistic, and somebody that's going to help you grow and step into your own self-expression too, as well, as I think.
That's cute.
Yes, it is.
Aw, okay.
Yeah.
I also feel like it can be like they connect you to your inner child in so many ways as well.
Oh my
Yes,
God, they
that is
give you
such
a
a good point.
kid feeling. I
Yes.
can
That
have a kid
okay.
feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, Taylor. Okay, Taylor. Okay. The kid feeling. Woo. America was in a chokehold with that one. But yeah, the whole world actually. But yeah, it was yeah, I think in many ways that, somebody wants to just feel like they can be free and not, feel so constricted and like it's stuff being boring. They just want to feel like let's go to the park, or let's, play a game, or let's, I don't know. I don't know, all the childlike things. Like even doing like little nostalgic things too. Like, I don't know, playing games that you used to play when you were younger, stuff like that. But I think it's cute. I think that people who have that placement, they have very creative dates as well. Like their dates are not your typical dates at all.
Mhm.
Like whatever that
Yeah.
means for them, you know?
That sounds like fun. I love fun. I think relationships should be fun. I think that's why Scorpio placements scare me so much. I'm like, why is everything so intense,
I know.
so heavy, so
So
serious?
serious.
Yeah.
Lighten
Yes.
up.
Yeah. Everything has to be like this deep, transformative thing.
Yeah.
You're like, I just want to go fucking sip wine. Let's go painting. Let's go sit in the park.
It's so funny that it's like Scorpio's basically, because if you look at Mars rulership, Scorpio's basically like old Aries, and then Aries is young Scorpio. And I'm just like, okay, like I got the meaning and the feeling for things to be passionate and intense, but I'm like impulsive, quick, like let's do it and then get over it. Scorpio's like, let's sit with it forever.
Yeah. Let's just sit here and stew and think about it and reflect.
Stew and reflect and fester.
Yeah, fester. Do you have any placements in your 5th house, Jada?
No.
Yeah, mine is empty too. Damn, we got Empty fifth house.
Yeah, that sounds like I'm like, wow, it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like I have zero placements.
I will tell you this though, everybody that I know who has placements in the fifth house is having too much fun.
Oh, too much.
What does that mean? Too much fun.
They're just gotta be in the mix and out all the time. Like, these people are outside like it's their damn job, and it just sounds, it's like when fun becomes work is when I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I got you. Too many obligations.
Yeah. It's like every weekend, bitch, like every weekend you gotta be out. It's like, I'm exhausted and I'm not even the one doing it.
Yeah. I'm exhausted hearing that you're going out every weekend.
Descendant in the 6th.
Virgo.
Yeah. So Descendant in the 6th, like Nicole said, mirrors Virgo energy, where the love often comes through acts of service. How people experience love when they have the Descendant in the 6th house and how they give love is very similar. So they like to give love and show love through acts of service. That's how they express their affection, by sussing out their partner's needs, and they kind of want that in return as well. They want to feel seen. So a partner that reciprocates through acts of service for them is also ideal. They show affection through care and through noticing small things about you, teaching you and guiding you through how to build a daily routine, guiding you onto healthy habits, and just really trying to build a life around their partner's routine and integrating themselves into that routine. I thought that was really sweet. A really good way to show affection, but the downside of that is Virgo, again, a lot of perfectionist tendencies, and it can go from, giving advice from a place of care to nagging and nitpicking. So it's very easy to teeter on the line of that, and depending on what the partner's headspace is, it can turn negative very fast. So the 6th house is interesting to me because I feel like nobody talks about it very much.
Yeah, I feel like that's the one house that nobody gives a shit about. It feels like it's the most boring house to yeah, because it's just like, it's about like what? Like pets, health, and your daily routine. And not even your career, your job. So people are just like, I don't care.
I like pets.
Yeah, I mean, I like pets too. I love them. But yeah, this is the one house that a lot of people
jump over. Absolutely. It's looked over a lot in these kinds of conversations. But I feel like what happens in the 6th house is probably the stuff that is the most impactful for a lot of us, because it literally shines a light on our day-to-day. What we live through every day.
Yeah, it's your routine, like you said, and themes of service and work show up here. So, you could maybe potentially meet your partner through work. I mean, I did. Like, my partner is a Virgo, and I actually met him through work. Or you guys end up working together in some way. Because a couple years later, he was bartending at a restaurant, and I wanted like a part-time bartending job. I was like, I'll come and work with you at the restaurant. So we did that too as well. And so you could probably be attracted, or maybe you would be dating somebody that maybe works in healthcare by some chance, maybe therapy, some sort of like service-based role. And you like routine and partners that can maybe show you small acts of like helping you with like chores or taking care of you when you're sick, because acts of service is their love language, and it could potentially be yours too as well. So maybe that's the type of energy that you crave, or that you attract in your partners. But again, Virgo descendants can also be very picky and over analytical with their partners, because they so crave that mutual effort and that loyalty. So that could also kind of be the downside of that, is that they'll always be more hard on themselves, but they are hard on other people too as well.
I think it has also to do with them just wanting reciprocation, but not having the tools to ask for it. Like, I find earth signs struggle with this a lot in general, is you want to be perceived by your partner and seen, so you never want to have to ask because it feels like a failure to have to ask almost.
Yeah, they like compliments a lot. Like they like compliments. Like I would say from what I've seen, like very much like, "Oh my God, you cooked me dinner today. I love this. This tastes great. Oh my God, I love what you did with your hair today." Like cuz they're never going to actively ask for what they
Yes.
need.
And I
They expect you to just kind of know and pick up on that.
exactly. So it's just the same thing applies to placements in the sixth house. They just want that extra bit of care and acknowledgement.
Yeah. Acknowledgement is key.
Yeah. And if they're being nitpicky, it's because you're not acknowledging, the little things that they do, you know.
Yeah.
And they like a little bit of encouragement throughout the day. I've noticed that too. Like they like a little bit of like, if they have something that's going on in their life, they want a partner who's going to support them as much as they're going to support you. So just saying like, good luck on this, or I hope you have a good day, or anything like that just goes a long ways with them, you know?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, healthy meal together. They'll be like, yes, let's do it, something like that.
Yes.
They want to feel like they have a partner that supports them in everything that they do. And if they're being a perfectionist, you can tell them, but it's probably going to go in one ear and out the other. So, just just let them be.
Yeah.
Just let them be.
I would agree with that. It's sad that it came. I had to really like step into adulthood as far as having like my frontal lobe fused and being able to understand these concepts. But I do get it now because I am also somebody who's very fanciful. So I'm just like, who cares about the minute details of life? I want the big shit. I want the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But now that I have my own apartment and people are coming in, I'm just like, shoes off outside, please. Thank you.
You've become your mother.
Literally, I've gone full circle. Like I am my mother now.
Yeah.
Descendant in the seventh house. I know we've all been waiting for this one. This is probably one of the juicier ones here because now we're right back at where we started. This is the descendant point. The seventh house, we are going to be talking about inhabiting the seventh house, inhabiting Libra themes. Honestly, from what I've observed and also just what I've read, people who have the descendant in the seventh house really, really identify with their relationships, their partnerships. This is another placement where the partner is an extension of themselves to an extent, but whereas the first house tends to see the partner as kind of a reflection and wants the partner to mirror the best parts of them, this person really wants to melt into their partner. The partner is still allowed to be an individual, but they want their union to be cohesive. So people who have the descendant in the seventh house tend to want partners who are going to complement them. And they want a traditional approach to things, not so much for the security aspect of it, but just because they believe that it's the right way that the relationship progresses. It's like the rules. You start liking each other, and then you start seeing each other, and then you start dating, and then you are in a relationship, and then you get engaged and you get married, etc. Like they want to follow the rules essentially to being in a relationship, and they kind of feel that way about relationships, romantic ones anyway, from a really early age. They think it's kind of like a collaboration.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Libra ascendant, they're all like it's in its home, so it's naturally drawn to these partnerships. They want that long-term union, and like you said, like relationships really shape the native's identity, and because they're thriving for that connection. And also they can attract public attention or success really by connecting with people too as well. With a Libra descendant, you can kind of learn and grow as a person with another. And it's important to know that with this placement to look at the condition of the ruling planet, because it obviously is going to impact you, right? So if it's like a strong, healthy, and like happy placement, then you're gonna feel great and happy and empowered in your relationships, and you and your partner are going to complement each other. But if you feel like if it's afflicted, then we might see those struggles, right, with finding something long term, or maybe you're seeing those reoccurring, repeating relationship patterns, right? Because I feel like I wanted to mention this in the beginning of the episode too, where it's like those reoccurring themes where you're like, why the fuck do I keep attracting the same person over and over again, these same relationships? That is going to be seventh house themes, yeah. The way she's like, so wait, what does that mean? You're just like,
I don't mean to do this, but I find myself drawn always to really emotionally shallow men.
oh.
Okay, so we talked about this. Nicole and I have a 12th house moon, so I feel like although my moon is in Aquarius, I do really crave emotional intimacy. And for some reason, I don't know if it's me, if maybe I'm a little bit too intense, because haha, as long I talk shit about Scorpio placements, but I have moon square Pluto in a really tight orb in my chart, so I know that I can be very emotionally intense, even though I don't always mean to be. And I was just thinking about how I want deep emotional connection and intimacy, but whenever I kind of get to the point where I'm like almost over the hill with a partner, they like pull back, like it gets really scary for them. And it's happened in a couple of my relationships. So that's why I'm like, oh, is it me? Or am I just like, am I projecting too much onto them and that's scary, or are they just emotionally shallow? I still don't know exactly what the problem is, but I definitely feel that when you say like, oh yeah, like you're repeating the pattern. Well, fuck. How do I break the cycle?
Yeah, it might be a mixture of everything, honestly. Honestly, because as an Aquarius moon, I'm sure you do crave emotional intimacy, but to what extent? You know, to what extent are you going to actually open up to these men? You know, like, are you open to telling them like the deepest, darkest things about you? Or are you like, I mean, I'll tell you some things, but I'll leave out others?
Well, again, the safety part of it and the rational part of it as an Aquarius moon, it's like, okay, is it worth telling this person everything? Because if I tell them everything and then the relationship doesn't pan out, then I'm going to feel like, aha, this is why you don't tell people shit.
Yeah, nothing's worse than feeling like you exposed yourself.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of relationships, right? Like, so what? You know, it's a part of your journey, it's a part of your story, but it doesn't have to be your detriment. It doesn't have to be something that's like, haha, you went through this and I'm going to tell the whole world. Like, it's not, it's not, like, it's not that. It's not that. So I think once you feel more comfortable with your story and who you are and where you've been in your journey, you'll start to feel that, like, you know, everybody goes through shit. It's not just you, and it doesn't have to be something that's embarrassing. It's just something that happened. And so what? Like, tell it.
Girl, I'm an Aquarius moon. Feelings are embarrassing.
Oh.
It's embarrassing.
It's like, I love you. Thanks.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
No, it's okay. I understand. I get it though. I get it. But that's the pattern though, and that's why you probably keep attracting these men who are kind of like emotionally shallow, because they probably feel the same way. Like, what if I open up to this girl and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you went through that. Oh, this is a red flag," you know? And it's like, both of y'all in the same boat. Like, oh, my feelings. Okay, but we can have fun though, you know? So that's the thing. That's the only thing. But I don't know. I think people who have like the, you know, seventh house themes, they can also be very sensitive to their partner's moods. Like, very, very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. Like, you know, if their partner's not feeling at their best, they feel like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? Did I do something? Like, are they mad at me? Or, you know, like, how are they feeling today? Or, and they'll go out of their way to be like, you know, how are you feeling? Are you okay? You seem kind of off. Like, you know, and they're probably like, yeah, I just had a bad day. Okay, well, what was bad about it? That could be a little bit like, all right, girl, sit down, chill out. It's not that serious. It's not that serious, you know?
it can be sometimes that they're kind of superficial, or they want relationship just focused, based on appearances too. So, this person looks like the typical ideal person that I would want to be with. So this is who I should be with. But
True.
don't necessarily connect on a deeper level. Do they really understand you?
They want that. They want the power couple aesthetic more than they want the connection that they're building on.
Yes.
It very much mirrors kind of like first house themes, where I think the first house with this is they're focused more on their projected image, whereas the seventh house, it's not so much about their own image. Like the partnership is the image, so it's more of like I think it's the trophy wife versus power couple dynamic, whereas the first house is like the trophy wife or husband. You want to have the partner that you think complements whatever you built yourself up to be. And the seventh house is the power couple, where you are both kind of like a team and you're like the tour de force in action. But either way, like both approaches, if you're not building on, your values and where you want the relationship to go and connecting spiritually and emotionally, the downside to both of those dynamics is that they're both really shallow.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yikes.
But they don't feel like that.
Yeah, I know what to say.
They're like, we look good together. Don't we? Yes. I love this picture of us together.
Hey.
It's like I said, different strokes for different folks. I always say that, definitely not judging. It's just more of like an observation more than anything. If that works for you, look, do your thing. Not everybody needs a deep emotional, like spiritually challenging and a super in-depth relationship. Like some people just like an easygoing type of bond. And hey, look, right off into the sunset together. Don't do it.
I want that. But the problem is I say that and then I'm just like, okay, you're going to bare your soul to me?
That's annoying.
It's like, yeah, I just want to have a fun, easygoing, lighthearted relationship. And then I'm just like, so tell me your deepest, darkest trauma. Let's work through it, baby.
That is so funny because you're literally talking about themes of Scorpio, which is probably the next one.
Yes, the next house. It's like, bare your soul when you have the Descendant in the 8th house. Scorpio vibes.
Oh my god. The placement, if you have a Scorpio Descendant, you seek a passionate and transformative type of relationship. A deep connection. It's all or nothing, and you just want that emotional connection with your partner, and it doesn't just have to be sexually, right? And like Winnie said too, you want your partner to trust with you their deepest, darkest secrets. Like they want you to be completely vulnerable with them, and you could probably even attract a partner that kind of helps you to face those secrets or those feelings of fear and shame. And again, Scorpio is all about death and rebirth, so it's about giving you that emotional rebirth and going through that in that relationship. Yes, and the placement is all about bringing relationships that kind of push for those transformations. So it's kind of intense. There's a lot happening there, I think.
They love intensity, but I feel like, okay, so going kind of off track a little bit, if we just talk about Scorpio as a sign in general, the theme that most stands out to me is definitely control. And Scorpios like to control their environment, not because, I always say this, it's not because they're controlling and they want to have ownership over stuff, but being in control is what makes them feel safe. Because I feel like people ascribe all of these sinister intentions to Scorpio placement and like put all of this malevolent intent and energy. Like it's not about that. It's just about creating an environment where they feel safe, because naturally they do tend to be a little paranoid and mistrusting of people. So being in control just puts the ball in their court, and they're just trying to stay ready. Like, Scorpios have Black Air Force energy. Like, they're ready to go. They're ready for anything. Okay? That's the main thing, is just to be ready for anything. And they're always expecting the curveball, but they're pleasantly surprised when that doesn't happen. So them wanting to connect with you and wanting you to be open and vulnerable with them is not so much typically them wanting to assert power over you. Like, yes, that happens occasionally, a lot of the times where they're a little bit uninvolved or they're dealing with trauma on their own end, but it also just has more to do with them. If you share, I share, you know, like, it's not a one-way street. They're trying to see if you trust them, because that's like one of the things that turns them on the most, is like, my partner trusted me like implicitly, and they're giving their all to me and they're bearing their soul to me. Like, that's when they will commit like all in. So like any fixed sign, I think loyalty is a very deep thread that runs through all of the fixed signs being Taurus and Leo and Aquarius and Scorpio. They're all very different, but all very similar in their own vein. I think loyalty is one of the things that they do hold dear, all of them. And I know we love to talk about how, you know, Aquarius is a fuckboy sign, and so is Scorpio, and all of that. We talk about that a lot, but it all just depends on how deep they are in with you. And when they do get to the point where you pass every test and they're fully devoted, I feel like out of all of those, Taurus is probably the easiest to win over, and same with Leo, because all it takes is a couple compliments and like you're in. Sorry, Jada.
Oh no.
you you have to do a little bit more work with the Aquarius and the Scorpio, but the Scorpio is just more exacting. Like, they want their pound of flesh, but they will give you their pound of flesh back if you meet them at the halfway point.
Yes, definitely a lot of power struggles there in those types of dynamics for sure. Like you said, I'll give a little if you give a little. You know, it's kind of like this little cat and mouse game.
Yes.
You know?
And I'll give a lot if you give a lot. And, like, if you give a lot and they think it's enough, they'll give everything.
100%.
Yeah, Scorpio energy just, like, really does.
It's consuming.
It's
all
yes,
consuming.
it is all consuming. And also, too, with, like you mentioned, Winnie, with, like, this placement, like, you could be that person where you attract people that are very controlling or possessive over them, because Scorpio is such a representation of power struggles. And it's funny too, because my partner has a Scorpio descendant and he has Mars conjunct his ascendant. So there are some people who are like, oh my God, like when by people, I mean, like, I'm reading like books and articles and Reddit posts, and people are like, oh my God, like, this could be somebody that is like very passionate and like very fiery, and they're just very like involved and like possessive over you. But then the other half, where people are like, no, this means that if this person has Mars in the 7th house, that they actually lack these qualities. So they're looking for somebody that is dominant and assertive and is able to like stand their ground and speak their mind.
Like an Aries.
And it's funny because my partner always says, he's like, you wear the pants in the relationship. And I'm like, no, I don't. If anyone does, you do, because you're the one that like cooks and cleans and does my laundry.
No, girl, because you're
groceries.
we didn't order that, girlfriend.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. Because he's just so nice and soft-spoken. He'll be like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, no, you need to speak up. You need to say something. Or if somebody's being mean to you at work, or if you fucking booked the day off and your manager fucking booked you in for a shift, you better speak up and say something, because you made plans with me and he's inconveniencing me right now. So like,
that's so funny.
Don't
it's
inconvenience
like,
me.
Are you gonna call or am I?
Yeah, I'm literally that. Like, sometimes I have to be like, go up there and say something. Yeah. So I feel like definitely that's something that he looks for. Yeah.
Nicole's like, he ordered sweet potato fries, girlfriend.
I'm sorry.
Don't you need
that though. He's probably like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I should.
Yeah.
And he's probably like, okay, she has a point.
Oh my god, that's literally what he says. But does he do it? No. But it's okay because my love language would be like, I'll do it for you until it sets in.
Until
Okay.
it
Yeah.
clicks.
Until it clicks.
Yeah.
Have you ever dated anybody with with this placement or?
See. Sorry.
No, take your time.
I'm trying to think. No, I couldn't do it. I know I haven't. And if I have, it was very short lived, probably 1 or 2 dates. I need somebody who can speak up for themselves. I want somebody to speak up for me, So if you can't speak up for yourself, that kind of, I want to feel like I'm protected too. So I need somebody to be like, hey, by the way, she didn't order that, or So it works for some people, but I think that those people they really struggle to find their voice. But once they do, it can still feel a little bit uncomfortable. But they assert themselves, but it may seem kind of awkward to some people. But they're just like, look, I'm new to this. I'm new to this. Please just do that.
Look, I'm trying. Okay,
like,
bear with me.
Help!
Yeah, help! I'm trying. Okay, Sag Descendant.
And Descendant in the 9th house. All right. So I feel like I should preface this by saying that I did my notes around Jupiter as a planet because Jupiter rules over Sagittarius, and traditionally Sagittarius is the planet that resides over the 9th house. So the 9th house kind of mirrors themes that we find within Sagittarius as a sign. And we know that Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and we know that people who tend to have their descendant in the 9th house tend to want to connect with people who will expand their horizons and consciousness in some way. So this could be somebody that you meet while you're traveling, or somebody who has traveling as a hobby or interest, and you guys participate that and partake in that together. You could be somebody who also is kind of trying to experience and explore spirituality. So you need a partner who's going to have a really open mind and be open to finding out about new philosophies, building or taking down value systems based on their shared experiences. I think it's a really good placement for people who are seeking knowledge, especially if it's spiritual knowledge, and have a partner who has an open mind and is open to experiencing new things. That's why travel is so important for Sagittarius, not so much because they're fidgety and they need to be like in a new place all the time, but because they really do want to step outside of their comfort zone and their known system and open themselves to the possibilities of everything that life could be. And they want to experience that with a partner when their descendant is in the 9th house. So again, it's one of those placements where it's not so much about the romantic side or the passion or the physicality of the relationship, but what they gain through, like, intrinsically through knowledge. Your consciousness is the goal here, and being able to expand your value system in a philosophical standpoint, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. It's so funny because you literally just repeated all
Sorry.
my footnotes. No, it's fine because like that's absolutely right. Like themes of the relationship with a Sag descendant is all about growth. It's all about learning. It's all about expanding yourself. You're drawn to somebody who's going to help you broaden your horizons because either you or the partner is spiritual and intelligent and maybe comes from like a different religion or a belief system and or another culture, and so you are attracted to people who are spiritual and educated, and you want somebody because you want to as a person kind of grow and help with your spiritual development. So you'll either teach or learn with partnerships and or learn through travel or relocations too as well. So yeah, girl, like literally you said it all right there.
Sorry,
No,
I
don't feel bad. We're
stole
on
the
the same
thunder.
wavelength. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, definitely Sagittarius ascendants are definitely attracted to. They want somebody who's like wise, somebody who's like super adventurous, somebody who's like super inspiring, free spirited. I've noticed that. I've definitely noticed that about those people, and they're always looking for new information, like always wanting to learn something. They're and people who are attracted to them are open to that too. They're like sponges. These people are like, okay, what else do you know? Like they want to pick their brains about everything. What else have you learned today?
Yeah.
I think a sponge is such an important analogy because they really are trying to take in all of their experience and absorb them and really have everything, all the people that they encounter, all of the things that they experience shape who they are.
Okay, Capricorn. Should we move on to Capricorn?
Yes, so we're also.
This one feels boring to me.
I like this one.
Really, like work and careers and
Okay.
professional life.
This kind of will touch on stuff that I said for the Descendant in the first house. So, Descendant in the 10th house that Nicole says is boring. So, people who have Descendant in the 10th house tend to be attracted to people who are ambitious, and oftentimes they meet their partners in professional settings where they're kind of putting their best foot forwards in terms of showing off their leadership abilities and showing off their like professional zeal and showing off that they can handle shit. I think that's really hot when somebody shows you that like they're a boss, they can handle things, they know how to problem solve, they know how to take on adversity and win. Okay, yeah, it sounds, now that I'm saying it out loud, it does sound a little bit like ho hum, but I think that if you're somebody who is attracted to people who are responsible and can provide stability, this is a very good thing to look for in a partner. So I can relate to people who have Descendant in the 10th house because to me that just means that you're trying to build a relationship that's based in values that are directly linked to your own security, which as a Taurus I will always respect.
And I was about to say, I'm like, as a Taurus, of course you're eating this shit up. Yeah, no, because, but I mean, I get it, yes, because you'd probably be dating someone, or maybe you'd be attracted to somebody who, so with this placement, for what I read, this can bring you success and status, right? Because your partner could be somebody that's very supportive of your career goals and your ambitions and your public image. Your public image is very important to a Capricorn. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Don't embarrass me.
And you're just drawn to people if you have a Capricorn descendant, I'm sorry. You're drawn to people who are driven and have these goals and are very career oriented, or probably would have like a respected career, right? So, and then also too, having a Capricorn descendant, I feel like this person would be very nice and still very nurturing to you because that means that they have a Cancer rising. So, right?
True, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what? You're right. This probably is not a bad placement. It's not as boring.
They're family oriented. They really love home. It just, they are the type of people that just, they're very mature. Like when they walk into a room, like they're owning the room, they're owning the space. Everybody like kind of sits up straight. They kind of, they're very well respected. People always look to them for advice. They're super reliable. And at times they can be a little bit work obsessed, which can be kind of like, kind of tough when you're trying to connect with them. And if they're in a space where that I'm literally trying to build something right now, they're like, okay, well, what about the relationship? And they're like, oh, yeah.
You're like, oh yeah.
I'm here. Hi. But no, I think that for a Taurus placement, earth signs in general, they really like stability. And if you are a Capricorn descendant, like the earth signs are definitely eating this up. And people in general who just love like a stable person who just is always going to do what they say they're going to do. I think that's super important too. Consistency. They're very consistent.
Yes.
Consistency is literally the key word. Are we almost at the end?
Yes, we have
Okay.
Aquarius and then Pisces.
Okay, Aquarius, Descendant. I feel like you should take this one because I'm gonna say something rude and I don't want to.
What are you gonna say that's rude? I
Well,
mean, mine.
you say something nice first and then I'll say it.
So if you have a Aquarius descendant, then you're probably somebody that relationships would be rooted in friendship, and you're probably drawn to someone or to people that kind of have, are forward thinking, have a collective vision, and would probably share the same ideas and mindset as you, or have like a shared cause or idea. You would probably meet your partner through friend groups, social networks, and even through your community. And you would probably attract somebody, or you could do this for your partner too as well, and you can kind of help them grow and push towards their aspirations or your aspirations, right? Freedom and individuality is really important within your relationships, and you're not one for traditions, or those traditional ideas or roles of a relationship, because you still kind of want your space to kind of grow and do your things independently, because Aquarius wants their independence and their freedom and their individuality, right? I think that's nice that what I said. What were you gonna say?
Okay, so I'm in the point of the episode where I say things that are not nice, but I was gonna say, I feel like people who have the Descendant in the 11th house sometimes purposely seek out the outcast, or they want somebody who's a little bit of a charity case or a project that they need to like bring into the fold and mold into someone that's more acceptable for the masses.
Yeah.
Not always. I feel like this is definitely the shadow side of that placement, but they're obviously like they're going to go for the outcast. They're going to go for somebody who's a little rough around the edges. They're going to go for someone who they can use their existence to kind of be contrarian in their group or community and kind of almost force the collective to mold themselves or accept this person that they would naturally reject.
Interesting.
I feel like people who have that energy, like Uranian energy, Aquarian energy, are such natural contrarians that they need to have their partner be someone who is against the fold.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's outside of what's expected, not necessarily because they're drawn to that, but because they think that makes them look more interesting.
Yes, that is actually a good point. I agree with that, definitely.
Yeah. Like, they need somebody who's rebellious. They need someone who's like a forward thinker. They need somebody who just is super, super unique and almost, a little bit unpredictable in some ways, especially if you're looking at the fifth house. Like, they need somebody who they like, that's like, oh, I don't know where this is going, but I like it. Like, that is
yes.
energy,
They like a black sheep.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes. That's a perfect way of putting that. They love a black sheep.
Yeah. So have you guys?
So they like a charity case.
That was kind of rude. But have you guys ever seen the movie Valley Girl from the 80s?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so right now, Nicolas Cage is in that movie, and it's basically a movie about like star-crossed lovers. It's basically like Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy in movie form. She is super preppy, like, oh my god, like SoCal, California, Malibu Barbie, and she falls for this guy who's super grungy, alternative, kind of like a punk rock dude. And it's set in the 80s and everything, so it's basically her kind of getting her skater boy and coming to terms with first, like, her attraction to him and their chemistry and kind of also coming to terms with wanting to kind of bring him around to shock all of her prim and proper little, like, giddy, preppy friends, right?
Oh, yes. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's giving that kind of vibe. When you have Descendant in the 11th house, you want to have a partner that's going to kind of shake shit up and be outside of the norm and, like, ruffle some feathers in your circle.
Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. Where you're just kind of like, guys, look how badass I am because my partner is so fucking weird and out there. And that's an
Exactly.
extension of me. Like, I'm cool too because my partner is fucking cool and weird, you know?
Yes.
They kind of morph into that person in some ways, though. Like, don't they start taking on those types of characteristics, and people are like,
Absolutely.
"Whoa," start acting like you were never like this before this person came into your life, and they're just like, yeah, well, you know, I'm just different now. It's like, are you?
I'm different now.
I'm different.
I think it's more that they were always like that, but they didn't have the courage to express it until that person came into their lives and kind of backed them up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what drew them towards that person in the first place, is that it's not so much that it was an opposites attract situation. It was, oh, I see what things could be like for me, and I like that.
Ah, good observation.
It makes a lot of sense. I'm thinking about that show. What's the name of it? Oh my goodness. It's slipping my mind, but all I can think about is Sydney Sweeney's in this show, and I'm thinking about her character.
Oh, you're
Is
talking
it
about
Euphoria?
Yes, Euphoria.
I've never watched it. Have you guys?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. But doesn't she kind of embody that energy? You know, she's like, you know, now that she's dating, well, she wasn't dating him. She was like kind of sleeping with her best friend's
Man.
not kind of, yeah.
Behind her
She's
back.
literally trying to have a whole relationship with this man. And she tried to morph into her best friend so that he would notice her a little bit more, and it kind of didn't work at all.
Yes. You know what you just reminded me of? Somebody tweeted I saw this tweet during the summer, and it's also kind of rude, but it was literally like, somebody said, isn't it interesting how men become so much more attractive when you're in a relationship? And someone else quoted it, and this is the tweet that went viral, and she said, that's because you don't want the man, you want his girlfriend life, loser ass bitch. And I'm like, it's true. You don't want the man, you want what you think she has.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see why I went viral. We're all fucking shook right now a little bit. Like, you see how
Mind blown. I mean, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, Cassie didn't want Nate. She just wanted to be Maddie because she didn't want to be Cassie anymore.
I mean, I never watched the show, but based off of what I've seen from clips on TikTok, isn't it like, wasn't Maddie and the guy, what's his name?
Nate.
Weren't they like
They were
super fucking toxic?
Yes, but it's that kind of couple where they're just, it's a very seventh house, like, surface level. They're so hot together, power couple vibes.
Yeah.
And she's going through a shitty breakup, and, like, she had, like, revenge porn released of her, and she's seeing her best friend who's dating this rich guy who's an athlete and is super popular, and they, like, post hot pictures on Instagram, and everyone wants to be them. So she wants that, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't know until she's, you know, she successfully, like, destiny swaps her friend that, like, oh, this relationship is toxic and he's abusive behind closed doors and he's controlling and probably fucking evil and psychotic. You just saw what you thought you wanted through your friend, and then you went and you took her spot, and now you're suffering.
Fuck. I've never watched that show. I was mainly more into Skins. Have you ever watched Skins, Jada?
No.
Everybody always says that Skins walked so that Euphoria could run.
Probably.
And Skins is like I guess a version of Euphoria, but oh god, I don't know what year it's from, but it's
It's
a
early 2000s.
early 2000s,
Yeah.
and it's a British show. And I was obsessed with it, and it was so good and a little bit relatable, but I never got into Euphoria, but for me it was Skins. Like that was such a fucking good show. So I don't know, maybe I'll rewatch that just for fun.
Wait, let me write that down. I'm
Yeah,
always looking for something to watch that, you know.
you should maybe watch Valley Girl too. I think I'm gonna watch Valley Girl after Winnie said that.
It's a fun movie. It's like a short, fun 80s movie.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna watch. Add it to my must-watch list for sure. For sure. Yeah. I think,
Guys.
yeah, I think it's kind of sad though. I tell my clients that all the time. Like, whenever they're like, yeah, but you know, my ex has moved on and now he's with the girl and she has the life that I want. I'm like, but does she? And if he's your ex, then it's probably for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it probably is not the person for you. And we'll go into that in so many details as to why he's not and why the two of you just did not work. But try not to look at somebody else's relationship and think that it's like, you know, on this pedestal. Everybody goes through shit behind closed doors. Behind those little
Facts.
Instagram pictures and videos and trips that they take, they probably hate each other, you know? Let's be honest.
Yeah, they hate each other, but they love the image.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They love to look like they're in love.
Yes.
You know?
And I think a lot of people prefer that to like actually knowing what love feels like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
I
that's
actually think that's what love feels like, though.
true. But that's also a part of the reason why I don't like putting my relationship on social media is because I don't want what it looks like to overtake what it actually feels like when I'm in it. Because if I focus on what it looks like, then I'll look over what it feels like as long as I can present it looking a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah. I 100% understand that. I 100% get that. Yeah, I've never posted any of my relationships on social media. I actually got into like heated arguments with exes because they're like, "Why don't you post me?" And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. But now that I'm older, that's why. It's like I don't want. First of all, I want people in my business. Second of all,
Yes.
I believe relationships are very, very sacred. And then the minute you post, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're dating him. You're dating him. Oh my God." And it's like, girl,
You're
who
inviting
are you?
outside energies
That's
into
literal
your
thinking.
sacred space.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was my experience. Like, oh, that's your man. Oh my gosh, I liked him, but you know, pop off girl. Okay, bitch. I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, never again, never, never again. So sorry.
Oh, that's your man? No.
Like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? So I can totally get when people are like, yeah, I'm not posting on man until we're married and with kids. I'm like, okay, that's pop off. You know, do whatever you want to do, but
I'm going to be even more possessive when I have kids. I'll be like, that's my baby. I'm not posting it for you, hoes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
My baby.
yeah, literally.
My baby? Hell no.
People are strange, you know, protective.
Okay. Nicole, it's your time to shine.
Guys, we're on the last one. Oh my god, we have been talking for so long, but okay, Pisces, we are in the last one. Now, my notes sound really sad only because
Because
so
it's your placement.
it's because I know because I do because like I said guys, I have my descendant is in Cancer, but what is the ruling planet of Cancer? It's the moon, and the moon is in my 12th house, right? So if you have a Pisces descendant,
or a descendant in the 12th.
yes, relationships are going to have themes of karma and spirituality. Okay, so maybe you're somebody that finds yourself constantly drawn to people who are not emotionally available, or maybe they're already committed or taken, or you know, you're attracted or you're involved with somebody that is having struggles with addiction or mental health, right? Pisces kind of brings that disillusionment into our lives, especially in our love life. So you're kind of going to maybe feel like you're a little bit confused when it comes to partnerships because you are always going to give more than what you take. And sometimes we kind of lose ourselves a little bit in these relationships. There's a lack of boundaries. You may feel like you can save your partner. You feel like you're going to stand by them and love them through everything. This person may not be good for you. This person may have a relationship and you are the secret partner, but you're like, if I'm going to stand by them, they're going to choose me. And sometimes, yes, because Pisces is sometimes associated with disillusionment, this placement can kind of show us our hidden relationships, maybe even secret marriages too, as well. Now, this is not just on being like, yeah, this is a shit descendant, because if it is well aspected, I think that you can invite very spiritual and peaceful energy into your life. You could probably bring somebody, or you're attracted to someone that's very artistic and compassionate and wants, that deep connection. But just be aware that we're not overpouring with ourselves, because I feel like Pisces energy kind of tends to do that quite a bit. So. I know, sorry, was that heavy, guys? I'm so sorry.
A little bit. But it's not wrong.
No.
No.
Right?
Like, everything that I've read about people who have the Descendant in the 12th house, it says that any relationships that are formed with aspects to or planets in the 12th kind of have a karmic quality. You're kind of in your feeling where you've done this before. You've been here before. You both have been in this space before. So you're either going to apply whatever lessons came before you guys to trying it this time, or it's going to implode and be a mess all over again.
Yeah.
And how do you really navigate that? Essentially, there's a lot of lessons to be learned with this placement, but it all depends on how you apply that energy, right? So like you said, it can be something that is beneficial and does work in your favor if you're able to apply the energy the right way. So I think part of that is just starting off from a place where you're not viewing it immediately as something negative.
I know.
Right. I mean, they could typically escape into their partners. They kind of like are very dreamy, and they can be very artistic and spiritual and emotionally deep. So with these qualities, it can be very easy to have an idea of what they want the relationship to be, but sometimes it may not be exactly what they're dreaming of, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That.
No, like an idealized version of the partnership and the relationship and the person that they're dating, right? Like there is this, when I think of Pisces, I always think of like rose-colored glasses. Like everything is pink and beautiful and pretty, and you're not looking to see what's actually happening. And maybe the situation or this partnership is not good for you, but you're just so compassionate and so giving that you are going to stay even if it's not benefiting you.
Ugh.
Yes, and there's
They're
just
super forgiving. Yeah.
yes, absolutely, and there's just such a lack of boundaries, and there's just so much karmic influences as well. Just kind of like bounce off of what Winnie said, and how there's just so much karmic patterns, and these like people say, past life experiences that could kind of come into play with this energy and with this placement too. So. But I mean, I feel like you guys can still find a great, loving, happy relationship. Okay, it's not. I'm just saying that it's a little heavy.
Boundaries are key. Like having boundaries within your connection is going to be key, and not just boundaries with the partner, but boundaries with yourself. Like being honest with yourself about, okay, is this something that I can overlook, or is this something that I really need to look at and say, okay, this is not going to work for me. And really looking at the person's flaws and their good qualities as well, but not turning a blind eye to things that can be very, very tumultuous for you down the line, like addictions and stuff like that. Like you can help people through their addictions if that's something that they're going through, but just be aware of the mental drain it's gonna put on you. It's gonna be very, very draining, but just know that I feel like they're very honest people too. They're very honest about where they're at in life. Like they don't really sugarcoat or hide their own flaws. It's just like when it comes to their partner, it might like be like, oh well, it'll be okay. They'll get over it. Or be okay. They'll work through it. even though they're like the partner is not showing any signs. So just make sure that your partner, if they are going through something where you feel like it might make or break the relationship, that y'all have a conversation about, okay, what does it look like moving forward for us to be on the same page and both of us are in a healthy relationship and we're not just pretending like we are, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Sometimes it's best to learn about astrology through like literally
Experiencing
people.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best teacher right there.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I feel like astrology has so many different layers to it, and when people really get into it, they'll understand that, it's more than just like, oh, I'm a Leo sun, or a Capricorn sun. Like when you really get into the nitty gritty of it, you'll realize like, oh shit, this is way it's hitting home a little bit more than I thought. So I don't know. I'm glad y'all have this type of platform to be able to inform people, because a lot of people find it hard to break down their chart in this way. They really do. Like it's difficult. So kudos to y'all.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming on the show and helping us with that, so we can teach people that astrology is not intimidating and that it's fun and that we can bond with each other. You know what I mean? Over that.
It's all about connecting with people, and that's exactly why we invited you here. Like, we loved your energy, we loved your vibe, and literally all we did was follow you on Instagram and see your posts and think like, oh, she's so cool, it'd be awesome to have her as a guest. And here you are. So thank you so much for making that happen.
No problem. Anytime. Y'all are amazing. Like I said, I truly enjoyed myself.
Thank you. And we really hope that you maybe make an appearance in Toronto, because if you do, we'll be there.
And girl, like,
we'll show up.
I'm trying to come to Houston and become friends with Megan Thee Stallion, so I'm coming.
I have never seen Megan in Houston. I'm sure it will happen, but I'm sure she goes to like little spots and like nobody is like bothering her and stuff, which is cool.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever y'all come to Houston, just let me know. Just hit me up. We'll go do stuff. I know a couple of spots. It's it's real cute. Or if you're New Orleans too, that's really that's my city for real.
Oh, that's actually on my bucket list. I actually always want to go to New Orleans.
I've always wanted to do the
tour.
Yes. Yes, the ghost tour.
That'd be amazing.
All right. Jada, tell us where we can find you on social media for the Winestrology listeners.
Okay, so my Instagram is Queen Jade 3, so it's QUEEE, that's 3 E's, in Jade, JADEEE, that's 3 E's with 3 at the end. So it's 3 E's in Queen and Jade. And same thing for YouTube as well. And I'm on TikTok, but it's 4 E's for TikTok. Somebody stole my handle, so, and I didn't know until after like a year, and they had already built up like thousands of followers.
I hate that.
Yeah, fake one. If you go to TikTok and it's 3 E's, that is not me. I repeat, that is not me. It is 4 E's for the TikTok one. Okay.
All right, I'll make sure that I link the correct one in our show notes so that the listeners know where to find you at the appropriate handle, not the stolen one. 4 E's on TikTok. For us, you know where to find us, guys. We're going to link our socials in the show notes. At Winestrology on Instagram, at Winestrology Pod on TikTok. By the time this episode comes out, we will also have a new logo that we will be launching this weekend, but we're recording this on the 18th, and this episode doesn't come out until the 24th. So our new logo is courtesy of Kaylee from the Pulp Girls. So thank you so much, girl. She is everything that we could have ever imagined. And, it's our 4th year now. It was kind of time for an overhaul. It was time for a makeover, a BBL, as Nicole said before. So thank you so much, Kaylee. We love our new logo. And Astrobaddies and Daddies, we hope you're liking our new look.
Yes. And if you guys have any questions you want to reach out to us, please send us an email, hello@winestrology.com. Give us any wine recommendations within the city, any topics you kind of want us to talk about. And we're just so excited. I don't know. I'm just so excited for next week. We're gonna have a new fucking logo. It's gonna be great. It's gonna feel like,
Yes, so you heard it here first, but by the time this comes out, you'll already have seen it. But we've been really excited to share this with all of you guys for quite some time. So thank you again so much for listening. Thank you, Jada, for being here. It's been lovely chatting with you, and we can't wait to come to Houston. So it's yet another spot on our little bucket list of places where we're going to go for this podcast. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and all other relevant links will be in our show notes. But as always, stay tipsy.
stay tipsy.